What is up, ladies and sperms, uh, gadies, gentle thems, and everyone in between? It's your boy Jay Burns. It's Shawnee Sands over there. Sean, how you feeling today?
Doing great, man. I got off work and now I'm just gonna be sitting down hanging with you, and so I'm stoked as fuck.
Fuck yeah. You may notice that I live in an eternally black void with the exception of what's over my left shoulder. That is because my room is a fucking mess right now, and I don't need people to see that my life is as bad as I'm about to make it sound. But it is.
I mean, living in a fucking black void with something constantly over your shoulder, I feel like we all lived through that over the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's called a pandemic, right?
Exactly.
But this whole year has been a decade.
Pretty much.
So this is really just going to be us just shooting the shit, just like we've discussed multiple times and have had just many multi-length hours long conversations. There's something that we've talked about a couple of times, and it's music. We always bring up music, and I really just want to bring it up right off the bat because if not, I'm probably going to forget about it when we jump down this fucking rabbit hole.
Okay.
Did you listen to the Black Slim Shady?
No, I haven't actually yet.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Yeah, I heard it's like 10 minutes long.
It is 10 minutes long, and it's a love letter to Eminem disguised as a diss track. Like, if you thought MGK was fanboying over fucking M, the game goes harder than that. Like, he sucks his dick so much. But it's so bad. It's not good. It's like the worst part. It is just the biggest piece of shit on the face of the planet. Oh my god, it's just a hot turd. I
find it really difficult to listen to people rap for 8 minutes long, like in one song. Don't get me wrong, if it's consecutive tunes and stuff like that with differing beats and whatnot. But like if it's 8 minutes straight, like hell, even
I can listen to Black Thought do it all day. That 10-minute freestyle that he did. I can listen to that all day. And I think the only person who would agree with me on that one is that we both know is probably Amaru Moses.
Oh, okay.
Because we have both geeked out over that track itself. But you know what the difference between that track and this one is? Is that fucking Black Thought freestyle is actually good. And it's a freestyle.
Yeah.
Like, the game took time to write this. And it's just bad. But like, in the history of hip hop beefs, I don't think M's ever taken an L.
No.
I don't think he's ever taken an L.
No.
He bodied Mariah, he bodied Nick Cannon, he bodied Benzino, he bodied fucking MGK. I don't think he's gonna respond.
Yeah. Well, like, and I guess this is a few years old now at this point. What's your favorite line in the MGK diss track? From M, Kill Shot.
If I had to choose, like,
I know
a favorite M line.
Yeah.
The day that, what is it? I can't remember what it is, but it's essentially like the day I admit that is the day that Puffy admits that he put out the hit that got Pac killed.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is just the coldest shit, bro. Like,
I'm just kidding, Diddy. You know I love you.
You know I love you. That or your beard is weird. Like, to start off, like it's either the first line or the last line. Like,
for me, it's I'll give you my sandals. You can fuck Kim in my you can fuck Kim in my flannel. I'll give you my sandals because as long as I'm shady, you're gonna have to live in my shadow. That one right there, I was like, oh fuck.
What is it? You're making mountains out of molehills. Ow, Kelly, ooh. Is another one that I like. But like, he even admitted that he was being a little petty.
Oh yeah.
By making the track. Because he gave him more fucking publicity.
Oh,
and that's one of the reasons why I don't think he's gonna respond to Game. Like, first and foremost, the Game makes club bangers, and he says in his track, like, I've been in the clubs and I ain't never hear your songs, and I'm like, well, it's because he doesn't make songs for the club. Like, if anything, you'll hear fight music, you'll hear shit from like D12, but like old shit from D12 if you have a fucking DJ worth his salt. or my band, because I know a lot of DJs who like to fucking just go with the
What's that Drake tune? That Fire, I think it is, by Drake.
Oh, I don't listen to Drake.
I don't either, but I listened to this one track just because I knew M had a fucking verse on it. And he starts it off with the passion and the flame is ignited. You can't put it out once we light it. This is exactly what the fuck that I'm talking about when we riot. It's fucking like, that's the way he starts everything off. And even like before he comes in for his verse, the music and all the imagery and stuff like that in the video just kind of just like takes a second to go like, let's build it up. We know who we got on here. Like that tune would probably get played in a club or something like that. But yeah, you know, like no one's going to play Stan. You know,
when nobody's gonna play Cleaning Out My Closet in a fucking nightclub. Yeah. Well, that's not true. You might find that one in like a goth industrial nightclub.
Yeah, might find that. Yeah, that's a fair point, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that one.
I don't. Go. What's up?
So one place I'm going to divulge a little bit from music.
Okay.
And I had this question when I was on my car ride home from work because I was thinking about like just different chefs and stuff like that like I really, really like. And I was wondering for you, since you love cooking and you work in the industry, is there one chef in terms of like you learning how to cook that like inspired you and wound up like making you really like kind of like they had like an indelible print on you? Like, and if so, who would it be?
This one is actually... Sorry, that's me. I'm putting us on Facebook right now. To tell you the truth, it's Bourdain.
Bourdain? Oh, that's a great choice, man.
It's Bourdain, and it's mainly because he was no nonsense. He just fucking told it like it was. He thoroughly enjoyed what he did, and didn't have to have perfection. At least in his own food. When he was working, it was different. But when he was presenting his shit and going to uncharted places and just eating random food with fucking locals, I think he also had just like this voice that really connected to me. So it really sucked when he passed away. I actually got I got one of his cookbooks for Christmas this year, and it was probably my favorite fucking gift of the year. Nice. But no, like and then Alton Brown as well. Like everybody knows him more as like a commentator, like the commentator for Iron Chef America. But like he taught me a lot when I was growing up because I used to watch Good Eats.
Oh yeah.
His fucking infotainment show on the cooking channel. And I think that's a little bit where I get like, I definitely watched it during my formative years because that's where I got like a little bit of my fucking wit from. I want to say it's a little bit more acerbic and dry than it is anything else. And sometimes it'll go over people's heads and then you have to think about it. And then people will come back like 5 minutes later and be like, oh, that was funny. But what about yourself? Who's your go-to chef?
Well, it's kind of funny because like I do a little bit of cooking here and there, you know, when I was like probably 17, 18, but it wasn't something that I really like loved doing. And I wound up going to Spain for a motorcycle race and walked out of my bungalow that we were staying in. And
you're a human. Why are you racing motorcycles? You're going to lose.
Yeah. So I was wearing a Repsol Honda t-shirt and Marc Marquez hat, who's my favorite racer. And so I wound up walking outside my bungalow to go pick up a bottle of rum from the grocery store down the street, and all I see is the Marc Marquez fan club from Barcelona.
Hey.
And they found out it was my birthday the following and they proceeded to get me so drunk. It was the worst hangover I think maybe I've ever had, like top 5 for sure.
It was the worst best thing that ever happened to me.
It was brutal. And so like, but this does tie into cooking, I promise. So I couldn't eat for the first, like, you know, because the hangover was so bad.
Oh yeah, like just smelling food turned your stomach and shit.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal. So it was about like 5 hours into us being there, and so I finally have like a bit of an appetite. And I sit down and I'm just like, I fucking need to eat. And they bring me a breakfast that they
bring you menudo.
No, they brought me scrambled eggs, bacon, and toast, and a whole bunch of other shit. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, I don't really like scrambled eggs because, you know, like all my experience with scrambled eggs was just they were rubbery. And so I just didn't dig them. I tried these and I realized what scrambled eggs really should be. And to this day, it's still like the best scrambled eggs I've ever had in my fucking life.
Yeah, like speaking of fucking scrambled eggs, you know who scrambled eggs I can't stand, but everybody fucking can't stop filleting?
Oh,
I can't stand Gordon Ramsay scrambled eggs, bro.
Too many.
Like they are. Like I need a little bit of like solidity there. Like I get it that it's supposed to be a scrambled egg, but like I would also like to not have to eat my scrambled egg with a spoon.
Well, like I agree completely. Don't get me wrong, and that's someone who loves soft scrambled eggs. It's just a little more done.
Yeah,
is what I like. But I couldn't stop thinking about these fucking eggs when I got home, and then learned how to cook scrambled eggs, and then fucking started my like culinary journey. And one of the first people that I saw when I was like learning how to make food, was Marco Pierre White.
Okay.
And I just remember thinking that this guy was the fucking coolest person that I'd ever seen in my life. Like he made cooking punk rock. You know what I mean? It's like his attitude, his energy, everything, and his relentlessness of striving to do the absolute best that you possibly can. And the fact that he was so fucking gangster that he gave back his Michelin stars. Like he just
don't like it here. Fuck you.
And he was just like, whatever, give him back. Like, you can't give him back. And he's like, I just did. Fuck off.
Like you're a tire company. The fuck do I care about your star for? Get fucked, cunt.
Exactly right.
Any hopes of ever getting this monetized on YouTube have flown out the window after about second 30.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look into getting us onto YouTube, off of YouTube, onto Spotify, onto Apple, anywhere else you can really find your podcast needs. Fucking Anchor. I don't care. But I think continuing with the cooking trend for right now, I think that's some of my favorite. Those are some of my favorite like TikToks to watch. Because there's so many people out there. Like it started with the Cajun dude who was always like, "Let's get it, dude. Let's fucking like do the Cajun chef or whatever the fuck he calls himself." Shout out to that backwater hillbilly wherever you are. I hope you having a good time, dude.
I remember watching his steak video, man. His steak video makes me laugh. He's like, "This is how you make the perfect steak for all you TikTok steak experts." And it's just like, and I watched him make it and just like, unsalted butter. Unsalted butter. And I'm just like, that's what you're searing it in? Unsalted
butter? I cannot remember his name, but the other guy, not the guy who does the and like grunts and does all of it, but the really loud mass hole.
Oh yeah.
Get your chicken titties fucking covered in bitches. That guy, I fucking love that guy, bro. I could go down a fucking rabbit hole watching that guy, dog. I'll watch like 45 minutes of his videos and be like, oh shit, I've wasted almost an hour watching this guy just yell randomly in mass.
Oh yeah, or the what's his name? I can't remember what his channel's name is, but guy who's just constantly making pasta shirtless and going bitch.
Yes. There's this fucking Australian cunt, and he is like, he just like makes fucking food and cusses like a motherfucker.
Oh, are you talking about Andy Cooks?
I don't know. Let me pull up my TikTok. Let me pull up my TikTok. I'll tell you because I'll look it up right goddamn now. Andy Cooks. No, though that dude is really. I do follow that guy though.
That dude is so good.
I do follow that guy. No, this guy looks more like he's a fucking punk rocker. Got a shitload of fucking tattoos. Looks exactly like you would assume if you'd never seen a chef in your life, but had heard stories and know the tropes of chefs, you would automatically assume that dude works in a kitchen. and plays in a fucking garage band on fucking like Friday nights at the bar. Yeah. There's also the dude who does the dude who kind of looks like me, who does all of the like prep cook videos where he's like, chef, this chick wanted a fucking hamburger with no bun, no patty, but wants the lettuce, the tomato, the onion, and the pickle. So she wants a salad, but she wants it like a hamburger.
She wants a glorified vegan lettuce wrap.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself first and foremost. Okay, so before we get down on that, like, okay, so everybody has their own little niche on TikTok. If you had to sum up your TikTok in like 5 categories, what would they be? So
I'm not on TikTok, but I feel like Instagram's kind of a similar sort
essentially.
of.
It's the Facebook version of TikTok.
Yeah, it's like they're really the same thing. So I'd say the things that I watch most, cooking shorts are like number one pretty well. Most of the stuff I wind up watching is knife skill stuff or friggin', just different recipes that people are doing. Even whether they're chefs or home cooks, it doesn't really matter to me. Like I'm always just
there for it.
It's what I'm completely absorbed in right now, working in the industry. But that guitar videos,
okay,
funny, like sort of raunchy sort of comedy, like guys like Sam Morrill. Like I love Sam Morrill, so like a lot of his stuff and different comedians wind up coming up in my feeds. And then
it's not fucking Anthony Jizzin next.
No, not Jizzle.
That dude is good in like small bits. Like he's a raunchy Mitch Hedberg, where like Mitch Hedberg doesn't have a whole lot of jokes that hit, but when you watch him in small doses, you're like, that's actually pretty fucking funny.
Oh yeah, rice is really good when you're hungry and you want 2,000 to something. Is like it's a great joke, but anytime I get a lot of people to tell me about Mitch Hedberg,
yeah,
great he is, and I sit there thinking about like my favorite comedians, even ones that don't make me like audibly like laugh, like guys like Bill Hicks. I still hold them in a higher regard than I hold Mitch Hedberg, even if Mitch Hedberg is very creative in a lot of different ways.
Wasn't it interesting watching a missile fly down a tube? Wouldn't it be cool if we could, I don't know, shoot food at hungry people?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or,
that's a Bill Hicks joke, right? I'm not crazy.
No, that's
a Bill Hicks joke, right?
One of my favorites is, he goes, I was sitting in a Waffle House and I was reading a book, and waitress walked up to me and she just goes, "Hi, what you reading for?" No, what am I reading? But what am I reading
for?
And I just thought to myself, and I said to her, probably so I don't become a fucking waffle waitress.
It's like, great. It's great, bro. Like,
great joke, right?
The worst part about it is we all know, sadly, Bill Hicks died and was turned into Alex Jones. Because that's just the way the fucking internet works, apparently. We used to make jokes about that. At least here, we used to make in the States, because I for the people who will end up watching this eventually or listening to this eventually, I live in Seattle. Sean lives in the land of maple terrorists.
Maplebacks, excuse me. Maplebacks.
Yeah, sticky backs.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so much worse now.
He lives in the land of beavers, not the good kind, but the kind that you would know, not that kind, the other kind.
Yeah.
He's from Canada. I don't want to dox you, but you're near Toronto, right?
Yeah, I'm just outside Toronto. Yeah.
Okay. At least in the States, that used to be a joke about how we joked about fucking Republicans, and how their voter base was uneducated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And like, Now it's not a joke anymore. It's not funny anymore. Like,
No.
stop the ride I want off. This is bullshit. Because that's literally just what it's become. That's what the Republican base is. At least the fucking Republican base that backs Trump.
Yeah, I'd say you're not far off on that one. Don't get me wrong. I have met some very intelligent people that do.
Oh yeah, there are smart people on both sides.
Yeah, like they did back Trump, but the thing with that is how we got down a rabbit hole.
Like that, motherfucker. Let's go.
So
we'll do it faster next week.
Yeah, exactly right. It'll just be like right from the jump. Yeah, we'll be like, so how do you feel about this fucking abortion bill? Oh Jesus, God
damn.
Yeah, no, but
they said the word that episode automatically gets pulled. We get canceled right there.
We got canceled right now, basically.
Oh, dude, we are. I'm pretty sure we're not even on YouTube anymore because of the shit that we've been saying.
No. But the thing is, partisanship in your country is a really different sort of thing than it is here.
Yeah, because at least you have 18 parties.
We have 18 parties, but there's only 2 that really kind of like are in the mix for things. There's a third that does like gain a little bit of traction, but
the Green Party, eh?
No, the NDP actually.
The New Democratic Party.
Yeah. And so with the NDP, like they are another option, but the issue is their track record isn't great when they did wind up getting in power. Like, so people just, you screw up once in politics and your party really screwed after that.
I mean, unless you're a Republican in the States.
Yeah. But the partisanship that winds up happening in the States is really weird because I know some really, really smart people that just based off of the fact that they just have disliked the Democratic Party for such a long period of time have wound up, allying themselves with people like Donald Trump. And it's kind of shocking to me, and I think it will be shocking to you as well in a lot of different ways because we both grew up in the era where it was Bill Clinton, George Bush, then Barack Obama. And
guy who lied about having sex in the Oval Office, war criminal, and then the guy who wore a tan suit and bombed kids.
Yeah, but the thing with those 3 was it's like out of those 3 presidents within my lifetime. Up until Donald Trump, everyone was like, oh, George Bush was the worst president in the last 20 years. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He almost you almost kind of wish like, oh man, the Bush after Trump, you're like, the Bush years really weren't so bad, were they? Like, I wouldn't mind going for a beer with the guy. It's like, it's really
perfect strange. Analogy right here.
It's really, really strange how the passage of time really alters the view that you had of somebody. Cause I remember like in music class, for example, to memorize the bass clef, it would be G, B, D, F, A. Those are the ones. And it would be like, good boys do fine always. And the
always
way that
closing.
Yeah. So the way that people made it easier was George Bush dies Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that's, but
don't practice your guitar in the airport.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, yeah, thankfully we used the treble clef. We used the treble clef. I don't really have much issue with that, but that's the level to which people dislike George Bush.
Yeah.
Was like, you had musicians trying to do like clever shit with stuff like that, but now we look back on it and we're just like, oh, you know what, man, wasn't great, but things have gotten significantly worse since then. So it's very strange. But sorry, you were going to tell me your perfect analogy for it.
Oh yeah, perfect analogy for that. People hated the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah, I knew you were going. I knew you were going here.
Everybody hated the Star Wars prequels until the new ones came out, and whoop-de fucking do. Look, now everybody has a new appreciation for the old shit. Like,
yeah, exactly, man. It's we bitched about them for so long, and then we realized, well, at least that one had like a through line in terms of its story.
There was sand in both things.
Exactly. Well, it is.
I hate you, George Lucas.
Yeah, You know what, though? Sticking with Star Wars a little bit. J.J. Abrams had a thankless job in that 9th film.
No, not really.
You don't think so?
No. J.J. Abrams listened to the bitch boys on Twitter who whined and cried because The Last Jedi wasn't everything that their headcanon had built it up to be. Because my Luke Skywalker would never do that. Well, you also couldn't imagine a fucking black stormtrooper either. So go fucking cry yourself to sleep. Fucking fuck off. He's a human. He's like literally a fucking human. You're gonna say, oh, he's the greatest Jedi in the galaxy, and he's never allowed to doubt himself ever. Luke Skywalker has never acted like that a day in his life. He was a whiny little bitch. But I wanted to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters. Fuck you. He's been whiny all the fucking time. That's all he does is bitch through 3 fucking movies. And then you see him in fucking 7 and he goes, I don't give a fuck about this no more. And then in 8, you actually get a redemption for Luke Skywalker's character, but it's not the one that everybody wanted.
Okay. Well, okay. So all that sort of aside real quick with the J.J. Abrams thing, with the 9th film, my point in saying that is there was a vocal backlash to the 8th film. You know,
from a minority of people, though.
Definitely enough to warrant trying to change something. So
yeah, there were enough people to warrant getting the fucking Snyder cut, but that doesn't mean that it should have existed. Although, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it.
Snyder cut. I actually quite liked it.
I enjoy it better than the Whedon cut. But I also, we're going to talk about this here in a second, in the fucking shit show that is DC right now, because they have no idea what they're fucking doing. Sorry, did not mean to interrupt. Continue.
So, if you are going to try to course correct from a second film, and clearly there's studio pressure to do so, you know, there has to be at that point. You now have to try to tell 2 films worth of a story in 1 film. And that is ridiculously difficult. It's a thankless and impossible task. And yes, last film was really bad, but I don't think that's all necessarily his fault, to be honest with you.
No, okay, so there's a lot that goes into that, but one thing real quick, you don't have to do it in 1. You really don't. You're the company that literally prints money. Your company could put out a pile of shit on film for 90 minutes and it would make $1 billion at the box office. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You could have split that into 2 movies. You could have taken your time to tell that story, and you could have gotten somebody better than lens flare Jar Jar Abrams. I'm just saying, like, that's not what you have to do. You don't have to do that at all. Because there is some shit that I wanted to see that I don't see. I wanted. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Finn to be a fucking Force sensitive, and they were leading up to him being a Force sensitive through 2 fucking movies, and then they just nixed that. Why? Because people don't like it when black people have screen time and they're not fucking black. That's really what that was, because a lot of the backlash for Finn even being a character in the movie was he was black. Stormtroopers can't be black. There are no black people in Star Wars. Lando Calrissian doesn't count. Fucking Darth Vader doesn't count.
Anybody that says that or dislikes black people on film is just a fucking idiot to begin with.
Well, of course, but these are the people that yelled and bitched about it, and they changed shit. So I don't care what anybody's opinion is when it comes to that. We should have taken our time. Also, going back to the other point that I wanted to make, if they had some more interconnectivity, I know it's probably not going to happen anymore. I want Rian Johnson's trilogy. I do. I want Rian Johnson's trilogy. I think Rian Johnson did something really fucking interesting with Star Wars, and it pissed a lot of people off because it's not what they had been creating in their heads. Because for the longest time, most people who went to see 7, 8, and 9 were our age. Mm-hmm. The last movies that they got, the trilogy that they grew up with, were the prequels. Mm-hmm. We're getting something that's not the prequels. And 7 is just a rehash of 4.
Yeah.
With a little bit different. Like 8, as much as it like homages, because it really kind of does. It homages more than it's just a blatant fucking ripoff of Empire. But there are a lot of themes that are incredibly similar. The tone is similar. And, you know, I know people hated Empire when it came out. People disliked Empire when it came out because it seemed like the disjointed film that doesn't really connect to anything and then is regarded as the best of the fucking series, at least the Skywalker saga. But there was no interconnectivity of the stories. They just wanted to make a movie that would make money because they'd spent $4.5 billion to acquire the IP of George Lucas. Had Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson. It was supposed to be Colin Trevorrow.
Colin Trevorrow was supposed to be the third, and then then he made the Book of Henry, and they fucking can't.
And they were like, no, hey, pass. Cool. You know what you do? Call up Gareth Edwards.
Yeah.
Call up Gareth Edwards. You're already in the midst of giving him one, or don't even do that. Call up Edgar Wright. I'd love a Star Wars Edgar Wright movie. I think Edgar Wright's a big enough. Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. Let Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg write a Star Wars movie.
I would love to see an Edgar Wright Star Wars film as much as I'd like to see a Lord and Miller Star Wars film. But I don't know.
Give me a Lord and Miller Star Wars film that isn't ripped away from them and they cast somebody better than Alden Ehrenreich.
I agree with you on that.
Because don't get me wrong, I talk a lot of shit about this movie. It's entertaining to a fault. And obviously I'm talking about Solo, but it is also just a Fast and a Furious movie in outer space.
Yeah. Well, and kind of to tie back, speaking of chase things, one place where 8 and 5 are really similar is both of them really are a chase film.
Yeah.
When you really get down to like the nuts and bolts of it, 5 and 8 are chase films. 8 is more explicit in it being a chase film, but 5 is that, but it's sort of just masked around a bunch of different other things that wind up happening. There are other elements to it that make it not so much that.
I'm gonna sit here and jack this movie off a little bit because I absolutely fucking love both of these movies. But the fact that they brought back Puppet Yoda is by far one of my favorite touches to a movie. That
they heard fan consensus and they wanted practical effects back.
Nobody wants a leaping frog though.
Yeah, like
that's just it.
It is Akbar in the 7th. It's been forever since I've seen 7.
Yeah, no, it is because he ends up dying at the.
Yeah, and Akbar
is a fucking 7-year-old movie now.
Yeah, Akbar is a practical effect.
Yeah. Also, rip to the guy who played Akbar.
Yeah, indeed.
Because he passed away. Also, we haven't said it yet. We're probably going to talk about it because we're going to talk about a whole bunch of shit because we're nowhere near fucking close to being done. No. We will ramble on for hours. Rip Anne Heche.
Yeah.
Like
craziness.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been waiting for Hollywood Babylon to for Ralph and Kevin to come back together because they only do shows like once a month now. And they had that recurring segment at the very beginning of Hollywood Babylon about Anne Heche's butthole. It's Anne Heche's butthole, Anne Heche's butthole. Let's all go inside. And then they have like Hollywood Stiffs where they talk about celebrities and the like who have passed away recently. So there's probably going to be a mix of that. I'm kind of glad that like they don't keep doing it. But I was listening to an episode from like June and they brought up Anne Heche and I was like, oh my God. I'm so glad they didn't do this episode like a week before, because like a week before she died, because that would have just been real fucking creepy. But I'm like, oh, they haven't talked about Anne Heche in like 3 fucking years, and then they bring her up, and I'm like, oh, now I listened to it after she got into the car accident and was just like, oh, I hope she don't die. That's gonna be a real awkward fucking thing. They're gonna have to own up to that, and now I'm just like, okay, now I'm kind of expecting to see what happens. But I really enjoy the fact that like 8 didn't hold back, and it seems a little heavy-handed. It seems like it's a little over the top when they're on the skimmer leaving after they smash through fucking Canto Bight. And they're going through the holo documents for the owner of the ship. So seeing that he sells X-Wings, he sells A-Wings, but he also sells TIE fighters.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me because not a lot of people think about this. Not a lot of people think about the fact that there are people to this day that profiteer by selling to both sides.
Yeah.
It's been a thing since the United States were a thing. The Bank of England backed France, which backed the United States in the fucking in the war for the colonies, in the Revolutionary War. So England was literally backing both sides. They were giving money to France, who gave money to us, and they gave money obviously to the British. Like, profiteering, making a profit is more popular than anything. And I don't think they really understand that. It's like that scene in Lord of War where fucking Nick Cage breaks it down about why the US doesn't bring their weapons back from war zones, because it doesn't work for them, because it's too heavy to transport back to the States. So they just leave thousands of pounds of used and unused weaponry. You think that the government doesn't give them kickbacks for that? The government of the country that they're in doesn't give them a kickback for that? Like, 100%. Profiteering happens on both sides, and people are like, oh, that's just dumb. That's heavy-handed. I'm like, that's literally happening. Like, and everybody's like, oh, I don't like the Canto Bite shit. I'm like, okay. Don't like it. This is literally her projection. They needed to go there. Mm-hmm. And because of the way that they chose to land on Canto Bite, they could have met Justin Theroux's character, the dude with the red plum bloom. Mm-hmm. They could have, had they just been a little bit more patient and actually parked somewhere where they should have been parked. But because they weren't, this entire thing happens because of their rash decisions.
Because of the fact that they're in a time fucking restricted situation. Yeah.
They're kicking themselves, they're kicking their feet out from under themselves in this portion of the fucking movie. And me, when I watch it like that, knowing that like this is we're running out of time type shit, is one of those things that makes it more interesting to me. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people, I'm going to jump around a little bit. I know a lot of people have a problem with the holdo maneuver, and they're like, oh, well, they had to fucking fix that. I'm like, y'all aren't, I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper, because I'm not trying to sound like a gatekeeper, but Han literally says we have to be precise when we jump to hyperspace, because we can hit a star or we can land inside of a planet. And that would be a bad thing in the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. It's not that hyperspace and regular, it's not like liminal space, hyperspace, and fucking regular space are any different. They all occupy the same space, mm-hmm. which is why astronav charts have to be exact. But everybody's like, oh, well, a ship shouldn't be able to do that. Well, why?
I've honestly never really had an issue with the holdo maneuver. I am interested, actually, though, in hearing your opinion on Holdo as a character, because to me, she has like bad boss vibes, like a million.
Oh, see, she got girl boss vibes to me. I actually really like Laura Dern's character, and maybe that's because like I get a little bit more inside information on it, because like I'll read excerpts from books where like her and Leia grew up together, mm-hmm. so like they're #besties. And they've kind of rubbed off on each other, but like the last thing Holdo knows is that Poe got reprimanded in front of everybody and demoted. Why would she tell him anything? In what capacity does that help anybody? The last thing that she knows is that her best friend said, "Go fuck yourself. You're no longer a leader." And there's a mole about. There's so much information that could be getting out, and it could be detrimental to the fact. And this isn't just like, oh, you're wildly speculating on this. This is literally just a logical thought process to have. She's now the leader of a defunct rebel group that has a mole, that has a time crunch, and is being chased across the galaxy. Mm. She doesn't know who she can and can't trust. Information is getting out. She knows that this dude done fucked up and got busted down before Leia went into coma. Like, I think that one works. I think most of her idea was really well crafted, And again, this is Poe being brash. This is Poe doing what Poe does best, being that Han Solo-esque character in the movie. Because that's what he is. Poe is like a Chewbacca Han Solo hybrid. He's just a brash fucking, I'm gonna fly by the seat of my cuffs flyboy. As a matter of fact, I believe Leia calls him a fucking flyboy in one of the fucking movies. So it's like, hey, and I think that's one of the reasons why Leia likes him as much as she does, is because he reminds her of Han. But she also knows that there's limitations and shit needs to be put in place. But Holdo, I don't hate Holdo, and I don't think that the sacrifice that Holdo makes is like one of those heart-wrenching, this is the most fucking painful thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, I'm going to cry for a character that we were just introduced to situation. I think this is more along the lines, hey, we're supposed to like this character. We're supposed to empathize with this character. And then, you know, life can be unpredictable and we don't have this character anymore, but they went out and did probably one of the most badass things anybody's ever seen. And boom, we have no more character anymore. I have to fill this would be a great time to be sponsored by somebody. So if anybody wants to sponsor us, you want me to swear and talk about your product, you let me know, because I'll fucking do it. You want me to shave my huevos with a Manscaped lawnmower 4.0 or whatever fucking number you're on, you let me know. You know what I won't do though? Hawk Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends can go fuck itself. Raid Shadow Legends is as bad as Diablo Immortal. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it. Fuck Raid Shadow Legends. Diablo Immortal too. Diablo Immortal can go fucking die in a cave.
You burnt his fucking sponsorship potential, like literally in the first
episode. Absolutely. Fuck Raid Shadow Legends. Fuck Diablo Immortal. But Manscaped, get at your boy.
Indeed.
But Manscaped
4.0. Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. A lawnmower 3.0 or 4.0, whatever you want me to say. My way
on 4.0 at this point. I watch enough True Geordie to know that it's the lawnmower 4.0. It's great for your ball sack. That's pretty well all I know about it. But yeah, man.
It tickles me dangles.
I had to hit the head. So.
He said I had to piss out of my fat cock, ladies and gentlemen. We're obviously gonna get back. We're gonna jump all over the place, but we were talking about comedians a little bit ago. We also didn't get all of your top 5 fucking TikToks. We got your Instagram. I was like, we got the 4 of them, but we didn't get through all of them. We just went off on a tangent.
The last one's, you know, it's
titties.
Yeah, titties and ass.
It's ass and titties.
That's what every guy
about ass and titties. Talk about ass and titties. But I had this idea for a joke, right? Okay. And I'm not a stand-up comedian, but I do want to say that I find myself really funny, and I don't know if I've told you this one or not yet. Okay. But I preface this by asking, what celebrity do you think should run for president?
Oh, so none really. Fuck. But,
no. If you had to choose a celebrity,
I had to pick one.
Like make it a combo team. Like president, vice president. Who's on your ticket, celebrity wise?
Okay, Neil deGrasse Tyson for president. Vice president. Part of me wants to say James Woods just for shits and gigs, but I know that's fucking not gonna. That just would be a terrible combo. No, I think vice president. I'd wind up going with
the Kool-Aid guy. Oh yeah,
it's great. You know, I'm gonna be like a real big geek on this one. I'm gonna say Neil deGrasse Tyson for president and Michio Kaku as his vice president.
Okay. We have instantly.
I think Michio might be Canadian actually, so I don't think that's good.
Even if it's possible, if it's impossible,
we'll go with it. We're the smartest guys on the fucking planet.
We have instantly eliminated. Eliminated student loan debt. We have actually funded schools, which means that the next generation of people will be smart as fuck. But hear me out here. The correct answer is Joe Rogan and Jamie.
Okay.
And it's not because of like Joe Rogan's fucking politics. Actually, I think he's a fucking dirtbag when it comes to politics. I don't agree with 80% of what that fuck says. But just like, hear me out here. He's given a speech standing at the fucking podium. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. Vice President Jamie, pull that up. And he's just got a fucking projector behind him the entire time. And Jamie's just there being Jamie, the producer. Like, there's something there. There's a fucking bit here about this. And I'm just like, it cracks me up every time I think about it. Because like, what if he's at like the Senate giving a speech? Or what if he's at like the UN giving a speech? And he's just like, Jamie, pull that up. And like he comes out of nowhere with a fucking with a projector screen and sets up the slideshow.
I've written a few because like it sounds really strange because I'm a pretty serious guy when I come on to shows like this and I try to be nice and whatnot. I've got a few jokes that I've written that like really kind of they kind of highlight my sense of humor, but it's also because you know I've had actual like people that do stand-up comedy tell me like, oh, you should do an open night mic.
Right.
You know, at some point, like you should do it because
I think everybody should do an open mic night at least once in their life.
At least once, even if you bomb, whatever, man. Everybody fucking bombs. Bill Burr bombs. Like and like Bill Burr, whether you like
the only time Bill Burr has never bombed is when he went on stage and ranted for 12 minutes about them booing Dom Herrera.
Oh, that one was amazing, but I don't think Bill Burr bombs when he's working on new material. But like the thing is, it's
new material.
Everybody does. Like Jerry Seinfeld friggin' got called out at one point for having a piece of paper on stage. And that was just so he could kind of like remember what his initial thoughts were. And that way he could work through stuff. And this girl called him out and he goes, this is where all the stuff that I do comes from. And this is the process everybody goes through.
This is the funny.
Yeah. Like your book and the different thoughts that you have really just down and fucking make it so that you're able to, you know, actually entertain people at the later stage when that joke evolves. But yeah, like I had one that I wrote about girls in porn are like Costco.
Okay. Everything
comes in bulk. There's a lot that you can get out of it, but no one really wants to be in Costco.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good.
Not bad.
Nobody really wants to go to Costco. No, I get it. I get it.
No one wants to be inside Costco.
You're there for hours. It's fucking just, it's discombobulating.
It's congested and way too big.
But I love the free samples.
Exactly. There we go. That's the one right there. Thank you for finishing my fucking joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on your toes. It just it popped into my head, bro.
Perfect. Like I'm never gonna be able to take credit for that fucking punchline now. Never gonna be able to take credit for that punchline because you just did it, and it's out there forever.
It's in the ether now.
It is.
So speaking of Joe Rogan being more of like a doucher than people give him credit for, I've stopped listening to Joe Rogan since he signed the contract with Spotify. I can't listen to him anymore. Even when he's got his guests on, it's really difficult. But like I never really liked a lot of his guests anyways. Like I was there for like Paul Stamets. Like Paul Stamets follows me on Instagram, which I think is like the one brag that I have. The mushroom guy follows me on IG and I don't post a fucking thing. But he posts some of the most interesting shit. Like a lot of the fringe scientific ideas, like Robert Schoch, that guy who said that he worked at Area 51.
Graham Hancock.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. It's weird. You go down rabbit holes like this, you'll find some shit on TikTok about him. And then you ultimately find yourself to like Andrew Tate.
Oh, fuck.
Andrew Tate. You're a piece of shit, bro.
Yeah, you are.
You try so hard to be an American, but you can't get rid of that little ting that you got there, mate. Stop, by the way. Just stop. You can call me a fat piece of shit all you want because that's what you do, because you think that you're an alpha male and you think that's what alpha males do, when you're really kind of a beta cuck boy yourself, because you look like a good value version of Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide Dale. I don't give a fuck what you have to say about me. I'll give you my address. You can pull up, because you got fists, I got pistols. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay, this is all very quickly. I
don't give a fuck. It's not a threat. It's just a statement of fact.
I do not like Andrew Tate whatsoever.
No, I think he's a giant fuckboy.
Yeah,
like, and then he's like, "Oh, you testosterone, and women should be subservient to men." And I'm just like, okay, so tell me that you could never pull Morticia Adams a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tell me you can't handle strong women without telling me that you can't handle strong women. Just tell me that you listen to Andrew Tate. That's all I need to know about you. That's all I need to know about you.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I'm trying to. My buddy sent me something about Andrew Tate the other day, and I just remember thinking to myself, like for starters, he shit on our profession, like
cooking.
Yeah. He said a man should never cook. Yeah,
what?
Yeah, one of the things he talked about.
Wait, hold up. No. This man really said men shouldn't cook?
Yeah, men shouldn't cook. That should just be exclusively for women. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of the really good things in my life, almost to paraphrase Carl Casper from Chef, a lot of the good things in my life came from cooking. And it's something that I'm really passionate about. And it's like, for starters, you just shouldn't tell people what to be passionate about and what not to be passionate about, or they shouldn't do something because they're not a real man. And it's like, dude, are you going to say that to somebody? Like, let's just take even Gordon Ramsay, for example. He built an empire off of cooking.
Gordon Ramsay gets so much pussy thrown at him from cooking.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that boy is rolling in pussy if he wanted to be. That man has like 8 kids, bro.
Dude, girls find out that I cook, and it's a fucking gigantic, like, ad for me. Like, it's a gigantic fucking, like, check mark for me.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's a green flag, not a red flag.
Exactly. It's one of those things where, like,
Andrew Tate's a mama's boy confirmed. That man never cooked a day in his life. He always had a woman do it, and guaranteed it was his mother.
Probably. I mean,
guaranteed it was his mother.
It was either his mother or it was some girl that was with him. And it's.
But you don't want to spoil your girl. You don't want to cook your girl a fucking meal and then go and blow her back out. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me?
The strangest thing for me is it's just like
that makes no sense.
Like, why wouldn't you want to put your best foot forward? Like, some of the most romantic moments I've had with my girlfriend have been the times in which I've cooked, like, whether it be something simple and rustic like shepherd's pie, or like I went like all out like French fucking technique and did boeuf bourguignon. When we're having dinner together, we're just sitting there and like we got like maybe even just one bowl or something. And it's just this really intimate moment. It's some of the most romantic shit you can actually do for your girl, or for whoever it is that you're involved with. But like
your partner.
Yeah, cooking really isn't. I mean,
which is weird because professional cooking is dominated. Professional chef that's a system of jobs professionally dominated by men.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Wait, what?
You go look at the top 10. It's like Anne-Sophie Pic, and then the rest are like Rene Redzepi, Grant Achatz, friggin', and all these other men that just, like the person that's, like the people that are widely considered to be the greatest chefs ever. You get Joël Robuchon, for example, like him. Got guys like friggin' Marco. You got friggin' Paul Bocuse. Like
the top five. Joël Robuchon.
Yeah.
Pierre Gagnaire.
Yeah, Gagnaire.
Jean Roque Efontaine.
Yep.
Ferran Adria. And Quique da Costa.
Yeah.
The top 5 cooks in the world, the top 5 chefs in the world are men. Checkmate Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate's not even top 10 in fucking UFC.
I mean, he wasn't even in the UFC. He wasn't even top 10 in kickboxing. That's the thing.
Take one kick from Joe Rogan. I just want to see Joe Rogan kick this shit out of him one time.
I will say though, Tate, I have seen some of his stuff. He's not bad. He's definitely not bad. He's got hands and he's got kicks. I've also very much enjoyed watching the video where he gets knocked the fuck out. But you
got knocked the fuck out.
But that's just me.
Oh no! Okay. This article was written. I can't pull it up because I'm not Jamie. But this article was written sometime, and this is from newidea.com.au. So this is Australia.
Okay.
23rd of August last year.
Okay.
So this came out almost a year ago. Number 1, Wolfgang Puck.
Okay.
Number 2. This is where I can't take this list seriously. It's fucking Jamie Oliver.
Oh yeah, that list is dog shit. That list is horrible.
Heston Blumenthal.
Fair.
For Andrea.
Advocate for gastroscience literacy. And that's a fair one.
Marco Pierre White.
Should be number 1 probably, but okay.
Number 6 is Gordon Ramsay. There's no way Gordon Ramsay is under Jamie Oliver, bro.
No,
just get fucked.
I mean, I know we joked about it earlier, but Gordon Ramsay, I mean, he's got the most Michelin stars of any chef.
Rolls in the wrist.
I think his total is he's got 18 amongst his different restaurants. That is
first American chef on the list, Thomas Keller.
Oh, Thomas Keller's a motherfucker.
Kurt Stone,
badass.
Yeah, I'm done with this list. I can't take this list seriously. Number 10 is Emerald.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Bam.
Yeah, no, Emerald.
It's
over Eric Repair or Joel Robuchon. Fuck off.
That's what I'm saying, bro. But this is what I don't like. This is somebody who just Googled chefs and then wrote about chefs.
Yeah, just decided it's I'm an authority on this subject.
You know who I like? That Jamie Oliver guy. No.
If you were going to make the argument for Jamie Oliver, the way that you do it is by talking about the impact that he had on the public.
Getting healthier food.
Well, not just eating healthier food, but just on top of that, just teaching people how to cook. Because he did.
I'll never knock him for that.
Oh yeah, no. You can't. It's impossible. But that
reminds me of the vegan teacher a lot, though.
I can see that. But that's the way you make the argument for him. If we're talking about greatest chefs in terms of abilities, Grant Achatz isn't even on that list. And I'm sorry, but if you're the CDC of Alinea, you're top 10, period.
Instantly.
Period. Renee Redzepi's not even on there. Renee, and everyone knows, Noma is top 2, top 3 minimum best restaurants on the planet. And they have been for how many years at this point? Christ. But yeah.
At least Salt Bay wasn't on the list.
Oh Christ, that just would have been okay. This is a meme list.
Yeah. You're trolling us right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You are 100% trolling us right now because that's bullshit. Where do I want to go with this? There's so many just different directions that we can go.
I mean, yeah,
I talked shit about Andrew Tate. I'm probably going to continue to do that. I'm just going to throw shots at Andrew Tate all day.
That will probably become a running gag where it's just fucking big.
They're
let's actually get the licks in while we can, because there's no chance that a guy like Andrew Tate continues on in the
no, dude, he's the new alt-right pipeline.
Yeah.
He's the new alt-right pipeline. You start following and liking Andrew Tate videos, next thing you know you get Ben Shapiro videos. Next thing you know you get fucking QAnon videos. It took about 30 minutes. This dude started a new TikTok and like went through the entire process to see how quick it would take him to get to Andrew Tate to the alt-right. And it took him like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he was just scrolling, liking random videos. And then like Andrew Tate popped up, liked it, boom, boom. He got a Tucker Carlson video. He liked that. Boom. He got a Ben Shapiro video. Boom. He got a January 6th was a fucking Antifa conspiracy theory fucking video. He's alt-right in like, it was like 29 minutes.
Yeah.
It took him 29 minutes on a brand new fucking TikTok account.
Can I ask you though, what do you think leads to somebody like Andrew Tate? Like, what do you think the environment had to foster to create someone that was like that? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think 10 years ago, like during the Obama presidency, I don't think a guy like Andrew Tate winds up getting the traction that he does nowadays. And we could say the Trump presidency, but it's also like
I don't think it's the Trump presidency.
What do you think the things that led to that were? Because part of me wonders if it is sort of like people get pushed to fringes, and I'm not gonna lie, I've never been on like the fringe element of things, but I've been far left. I have been right leaning. Like I was a progressive for a long time, and then I was right leaning as I started to listen to like both sides of things, and now I've kind of moved back just towards like a center position.
Right.
But
which is where I think everybody should be, to tell you the truth. Why? Because you can worry about issues on both sides being a centrist without sitting on the fence. You can worry about both sides.
Yeah.
What I don't like about like independents or fucking dead center, quote unquote, dead center Democrats in the States is that they're just fence sitters.
Yeah.
They wait to see where the fucking votes are cast, and then will cast their vote with whatever has more favor.
Yeah, and that's just
fuck Joe Manchin and fuck Kristen Sinema too.
That's just leaning towards popularity and whatnot. That's just, you want your opinion. Like, have you ever taken so people will post polls on YouTube, and they'll be like, oh, what's better, friggin' spaghetti or fried chicken? And you almost kind of like wonder, like, ooh, wonder which one's gonna have more votes on it. You know what I mean? And you'll click on yours, and as it turns out, yours is the lower rated percentage one. Like, let's say more people like pasta than they like fried chicken. Right?
You're wrong, first and foremost, but
I agree. I agree, but at the exact same time, it's one of those things where part of you does think to yourself, like, oh, maybe I should change my vote if this many people are doing it. But then you also realize, like, well, that's not my fucking opinion, though. But you have to have that moment of realizing that's not my opinion in order to actually sort of sit as a centrist that's not just going to fucking go with what the popular element of things are.
What I don't like about that is some days I crave pasta and some days I crave chicken.
Yeah, agreed.
If the day that I happen to run across that fucking post, I want some fried chicken because I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna make my own fucking version of Nashville hot fried chicken. Like, does that mean that I don't like pasta? No, it means that I didn't want pasta when you asked me the question. Like, I'm pro 2A, but I'm left leaning as a motherfucker, bro. Like, it's so weird because I live in a red portion of my state. I live in a really like Republican heavy portion of my state, and there's this dude who comes into my work all the time. We'll just call him Schumer, right? We'll just call him Chuck. And Chuck, about 45, maybe 47 years old, conservative, works for one of the bigger fucking aeronautics companies, and very right leaning.
Okay.
I showed him my bullet wounds, and he's like, "That's not a bullet wound." I'm like, "Okay, here are the pictures of me in the hospital with a bullet wound. Like, it's a GSW, my guy. I've shot at people, and I go shooting all the time." He's like, "You're a Democrat. Democrats don't go shooting." I'm like, "Dude, you go far enough left, you find all the guns." It's cute that you think that you own more, like, you might own more weaponry than Democrats do, like, as a conservative, but you only have two hands. You can own 100 guns, but you only have two hands. Like, I don't fucking understand this. fucking thought process. They're like, oh, well, we have the bigger armory. That means we win. Like, what? No, that's not how that works. B, that's not how that works. And C, you've never listened to Bruce Lee a day in your life.
Well,
fear not the man who has 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. Like, I would much rather become a master with one fucking weapon and be able to use that swiftly and efficiently than have 5 guns to choose from and not know how to shoot any of them.
Well, doesn't it also kind of go against the idea of, guns don't kill people, people kill people? It's just like, well, you can have a million fucking guns, but if there's more people on the other side, then
I got told that I couldn't bring a fucking pocket knife on an airplane.
Yeah, fair.
They gave me a pen on the airplane.
Oh,
like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, and I went to Vegas last year. And like, that's what really kind of threw me off. I was like, you won't let me have a pocket knife because it's a weapon. But I could literally stab somebody in the ear, the eye, or the neck with a pen and kill them. But it's a writing utensil. It's a writing implement. It's not a weapon. But it is a weapon. Like,
while I'm interested in continuing this, I definitely think that the ability for us to even remotely get monetized is now gone.
I don't give a fuck. Here, yeah, YouTube that was out the fucking window an hour ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was out the window an hour ago. But we can get that done on Spotify, fucking Apple Podcasts, fucking Anchor, wherever else. Somebody. Plus, we can get sponsors.
All right,
Manscaped, I'm talking to you.
Let me ask you something. Just
never you raid Shadow Legends. Fuck you.
So one thing that I'm interested in
from
you is, and I'm always interested as a guitar player, as somebody else's list. Do you have a top 5 guitar players? Because I know that you love Prince. And if you got to think about it for a second, that's completely fine, because it is something that does, like, especially if you do it, it takes you years and years and years to figure out exactly who those people that speak to you are. But like, if you, as somebody that doesn't play the instrument, had to pick 5, who do you think they'd be?
Kyle Gass.
Kyle Gass, okay. We're just going favorites. We're not going greatest. All right, cool.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm going with who would be in my top 5 personally.
So Kyle Gass and Slash.
KG Slash. I'm gonna go Tom Morello. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Tom Morello.
It's because people don't get what actually makes Tom Morello a great guitar player.
Facts.
Stand it, actually. I guarantee you, I asked 10 people, why is Tom Morello a great guitar player? 10 of them give me the wrong answer. Almost, like, or I'd say like 9.9 people give me like the wrong answer.
It's not Geddy Lee who plays the guitar in Rush, is it?
It's Alex Lifeson.
Him.
Okay.
And that's 4. Oh. Just because I've only seen one recording of it, but it fucking sticks with me, and it just fucking, it's there in my memory every fucking time I see it. Bobby Johnson.
Oh, you Robert Johnson or Bobby?
Yeah, no, Robert Johnson, like old school. Old school.
You went and checked out his video after that drunk match with Henry, huh?
Oh no, I'd done and watched him multiple times before that.
Oh, okay.
I'd known about him, but like, I knew about him more for the supernatural aspect of it than for his actual guitar playing skills.
Fair enough.
But no, that boy could play. Homie could play, dog.
And I'm just like,
that's like an intergenerational thing. Like, you're not going to find that every fucking day.
No, I mean, like, and speaking to the generational aspect to it, that's an arrhythmic blues guitar player. There's no
I was gonna say for the people at home, for the listeners, please give a quick breakdown. Explain like you're 5 what arrhythmic playing is.
Okay, so the best way I can describe it is if we take someone like Van Halen. All right, you play. So let's do 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do the riff from Little Dreamer. Da 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 da. You get the idea. There's a pocket. There's a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
If you take Eruption, it's there's no pocket. I mean, there is rhythm to it in terms of the fact that it is.
You can find your own pocket in it.
Well, you can find where like the different subdivisions or the different rhythms that he's playing with his fingers, but there's no actual like center to the rhythm.
You just gave me a flashback to my metronome.
With Robert Johnson, all of his songs are like that. You go and listen to Crossroads, there is no rhythmic center, but that also comes.
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, there is also, it kind of speaks to the time and it speaks to the level of education, of someone like Robert Johnson. He wasn't given the ability to learn in like a classical institution or anything like that. The kid probably, he died when he was 27 years old. The guy probably never owned a metronome. Oh no, because guaranteed he didn't own a metronome because he died in the 1920s or 30s.
I want to say it was 1930s. I'm pulling it up right now.
1930s, but to buy a metronome at that time wasn't cheap, and they were finicky.
1938.
Yeah, 1938. Yeah, so they were finicky at the time. They weren't these things that like you could just go and get the Boss makes now.
Right.
They were like really hot commodities. And to somebody like
Robert Johnson,
to somebody like Robert Johnson, who never wound up, really playing rhythmically, and who grew up in a pretty impoverished part of Mississippi, it would have been impossible for him to get his hands on it. The fact he got his hands on a guitar.
Robert Johnson is the Vincent Van Gogh of guitar players. Not respected highly during his time. It was only after he died that it really rose, he really rose to prominence.
Well,
he was incredibly popular in the pocket of the South that he was in and for blues, but a majority of people didn't know who he was until years after he had died.
It arguably goes even further than that, man, because Robert Johnson's widely considered to be the guy where it's like, you get Robert.
Started the 27 Club.
You get Robert Johnson, and then you get guys like who listen to him, like Buddy Guy, B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King. From those guys, you wind up getting clapped.
All the kings.
The three kings of the blues, man. Hey. Then you wind up getting Clapton. You get Jimmy Page. You get friggin' Jimi Hendrix. You get Chuck Berry, and then from Clapton doing his thing, then you get Eddie Van Halen.
We're going to change my list up a little bit, actually.
Hendrix has got to be on your list?
Hendrix has to be on my list. How did I fucking forget Hendrix? I know how I forgot Hendrix. I used to live next to his sister in Tukwila.
No way.
Yeah, they were our next door neighbors. Nicest lady. Had a mean streak to her, but was a fucking absolute doll. I bring her food all the time because I cook because I'm not a fucking bitch.
That sounds about right. So, as a guitar player, my list it changes pretty consistently. But
I think most people's lists are going to actively change over their lifetime. For anything,
it's what you're feeling at the time. But there's two that really
spaghetti fried chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the two that have to be on my list that as the spaghetti or fried chicken, Jeff Beck, he'd be right there.
Number one. Odelay guy?
No, that's Beck. That's Beck, dude.
I'm fucking with you. By the way.
No, like guitar player for the Yardbirds, motherfucker.
The Odelay guy from Futurama?
No, but
that guy?
But the fucked up thing is someone might have heard me say that and been like, really?
That guy?
I'm losing my baby, so why don't you kill me? That guy? And it's like, no.
Hand me the rhyming dictionary. No, the Bectionary.
Yeah. Honestly. And him and Derek Trucks. Derek Trucks is another one.
What's he do?
He's a slide guitar player, and he plays and he plays for the Allman Brothers, and he plays with his own
fucking
band.
Allman Brothers.
Yeah, okay. No, straight up, dude. He's been a prodigy since he was a little kid, like since he was like 8 years old or something like that. Like, and he'll play melodies that are fucking unbelievable. And one of the coolest things that he did is he wound up going out to India and started learning how to play sitar. That way he could start incorporating quarter tones and stuff like that into his slide playing. And it completely altered the way that he plays the guitar.
How many strings does a sitar have? Is it 12?
12, I think. I want to say.
I'm gonna look that up. Keep going.
But yeah, he's a monster. Larry Carlton is another one. He is a session guitar player for Steely Dan, and is just one of the most terrifying people I've ever seen.
That's a 4-octave range. Wow. Okay.
Maybe Guthrie Govan, because he's probably the best guitarist on the planet, to be honest with you. Like right now, he's a fucking freak. And I'll throw a jazz guy in there, because
16
best guitar players are jazz guitar players. So I'd go with probably Wes Montgomery for number 5. And see, the thing is, the 5 that I just mentioned, outside of like Jeff Beck, the other 4, like the average person wouldn't even think of, or they wouldn't even know who they are. But some of the best guitar players that you'll ever see or hear are guys you have no idea about.
Right.
And
they are like session artists.
Yeah. Or even just guys that are on the come up right now. Like, I went to college with a guy who's like
18 through 21 strings for a sitar, by the way.
Oh shit.
18 to 21.
Yeah, I can't even fuck around with
that. Bro, I can barely wrap my head around a fucking 12-string guitar, let alone fucking just adding more to it. Like,
yeah, 12 makes sense though. 12 is just 2 strings that are the difference.
It's just double.
Different. Yeah, it's just an octave between the two. That's how you get that giant rich sound, you know.
Excuse me.
Oh, all good, dude.
Yeah. That wasn't for you. I don't give a fuck. I'll burp in your ear every day of the week. But we're gonna have listeners eventually. So
yeah, eventually. Yeah, hopefully. Ideally, to potentially having listeners.
Slanja.
But yeah. Moving on to something else.
If you had to, dead or alive, create a set for comedians, just 5. We'll say it's like yeah. Ooh. Who are your openers? Who's your headliner?
Oh. Okay, so I want like Murderers Row, and I got like 5 comedians. Okay.
Yeah.
My headliner, I think, is alive right now.
Mine isn't.
No.
Nope.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna chop some of these down and put them on TikTok too.
I need someone. Okay, I need someone at the beginning who's gonna get the crowd work going and to fucking kill.
Yeah.
Like right from the jump. So I'm gonna go prime Eddie Murphy, like as the opener.
You go prime Eddie. See, Eddie doesn't even make my list. And it's not because I hate Eddie or anything like that.
I'm thinking about the show and the way the show is gonna work. I need Eddie to like bring the fucking energy right at the beginning. I go, Eddie.
All right, we'll go back. How about we go back and forth?
Okay.
You give me your opener, then we move into like the deeper portion of the set, and then we move into our closer who caps the night off.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm gonna start with Eddie. I may change my mind on that the more I
that's completely fine. That's completely fine to start off. Like, and it's not, oh, hey, this is like, we're not going worst to best. We're just going like our fucking, like what our lineup would be for a show. I think I'm going to start off with Patrice O'Neal. I think I'm starting with Patrice.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. Yeah, I changed. That's how you
I think I'm starting with Patrice. Rest in peace, Patrice. Just probably one of the craziest, funniest, most down to earth motherfuckers on the face of the planet.
Amazing.
Actually, I'm gonna change that up. I'm gonna save him for later. I think I'm gonna make him number 2. I'm gonna throw Aries Spears in as the opener.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna throw Aries Spears in as the opener because I went down a TikTok rabbit hole with Aries Spears stand-up comedy, and I was like, wait, the guy from fucking Mad TV? Like,
he's hilarious.
He's fucking hilarious, dude. And I'm just like, he's fucking hilarious, and I'm just like, I could watch that. All right. So you're gonna change it? Are you gonna keep Patrice as your opener?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep Patrice as my opener.
Okay. Who's next up?
Actually, you don't know. I'm gonna start with Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr is gonna be my opener, and then Jimmy Carr is gonna be my opener. Then I'm gonna go to, because the top 3 are gonna be the ones that I really know, but I'm trying it's the in between that's kind of fucking me a little bit. Bill Burr, number 2. Bill Burr, number 2.
Patrice will be number 2. Patrice will be number 2. I think that's a good spot for him. All right, you're number 3. We're getting into the meat of potatoes.
Number 3, I'm gonna go Pryor, like prime Pryor.
I'm going Williams.
What? Robin Williams? Okay,
I'm going Robin Williams.
That's my opener. Fuck.
Like, I think keeping Aries Spears where he is, keeping Patrice where he is, and having Robin there to like not necessarily mellow out, but keep everything even keel.
Well,
right in the middle.
He would keep the momentum going of your
exactly.
Show. In fact, he'd amp it up.
Exactly. I know my last 2. My last 2 aren't going to change.
Me too. My last 2 aren't going to change either.
What's your next one?
Carlin, second to last.
Prime Cat Williams.
Okay.
Because there ain't a motherfucking thing a motherfucker can tell me.
Hello, my name is a pimp named Slickback.
Yes, you say the whole thing.
That every single time. Yes, even the including pimp name. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Slickback. No, it's a pimp named Slickback.
So that's Carlin's my number 2, and number 1 I gotta go Chappelle.
Chappelle didn't make my list.
Really? Oh yeah, number 1 Chappelle for me, man.
Because my closer, my fucking final act is somebody that has been mentioned before, but it is Carlin. Yeah. It's Carlin because he's gonna bring the funny, but he's also gonna not fucking sugarcoat shit the way that fucking like everybody wants to. And that man was a fucking delight. He was full of piss and vinegar, but he was one of the funniest fucking people on the face of the planet.
And the best part about Carlin is he was like the fine wine of comedy.
He just got better. Yeah, he just got better the older he got.
Lot of comedians fizzle out, or they hit a point where they're really good and then they kind of taper off. But with like Carlin, his last special, It's Bad for You, is arguably as good as Jammin' in New York, which he did in like 92. Did that like 16 years before his last special.
Yeah.
And that is saying something because that last one, he's 70 years old at that point.
Yeah.
And he is just as funny, if not funnier, than he was like at his arguably his peak, which crazy enough came after Class Clown, which made him a legend to begin with. Class Clown was like 70, 73, 75, somewhere in that ballpark. And like, dude, you get that guy consistently night in,
72.
night out. 72. Okay.
You were like right there though. You were like right there.
I was like right there. But yeah, like, so 72, 20 years later, after he even does Class Clown, because Jammin' in New York was 92. Does his best special ever. You know, like there's bits that people are still watching from that and get them introduced to comedy and all that other stuff. And it's remarkable just how good he got as he got.
Realize the government doesn't give a fuck about you.
Oh yeah. his bit about the 10 Commandments, Christ Almighty.
Oh my God, dude! You know what? It's an oldie but a goodie. It's 7 words you can't say on TV.
Yeah, but that's right off Class Clown, man.
Fucking hippy dippy weatherman.
Oh, see, and that's pre the change for Carlin.
That's what I'm saying. Like when he was actually trying to, like, he wasn't trying to be like a commentator. He wasn't trying to be a fucking.
He was trying to be the safe comic, you know.
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I will go back and I will listen to the hippy dippy weatherman, and I'm just like, yeah, man, because it's funny as shit. It's really funny. Okay, so I don't want this to turn into a list show, but we got a lot of lists that we can talk about. But when was the last time you watched AVP?
A couple years ago.
What were your thoughts on it?
Weirdly enough, because this was prior to Prey coming out, I was like, is this the third best Alien movie? Or is this like the second best Predator movie? Because, like, weirdly enough, I actually really don't mind that movie.
No, I watched it today because, like, it had been a minute, and I was like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and watch this. The only fucking person in that movie I can honestly name is Ewan Bremner, and I'm fine with that. I don't need a lot of well-known names in a fucking movie about aliens and a fucking how would I explain it? Like, a blob of rotten cum fighting, because that's like all the fucking xenomorph is it's just like a blob of cum. That's it,
I guess. I mean,
I have to.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to fucking expand on that one. I can't just be like, I guess.
You're like, I was gonna agree with you. I was all spaghetti until I was fried chicken.
Yeah, straight up. Okay, you're gonna have to expand on that one. I get his head looks like a dick, but
H.R. Geiger crafted them to look like giant penises.
Yeah.
They spill eggs, also known like seeds.
Okay.
They're penises, bro. They bleed and create new life by injecting themselves into other things. They're just giant blobs of cum that can move really fast to go in the darkness. Like, as really shitty as that sounds, like it doesn't work until it works. The sad part about it is it works. But I watched it today before, like, I took a nap because I had to take my grandma to go get an MRI today. But I watched it when I got back while I was falling asleep, and I got about halfway through the movie, and I'm like, oh, I remember I actually kind of fuck with this movie. Like, I fuck with it because there's like, it's that whole what's under the Antarctic ice thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it is. It's like, what's down there? What are we gonna find? There are fucking prehistoric forests down there. There's so much that could potentially be down there. Who's to say that a fucking pyramid couldn't be down there? Like, I am of the camp that, like, I used to believe in Atlantis. Like, don't get me wrong. I used to heavily fucking believe in Atlantis. Atlantis doesn't exist. Atlantis has never existed. It was a fucking thought experiment by Plato. Plato called it a thought experiment when he created it, and then people just took and twisted his words, and it's become this fucking urban legend. The fucking Bimini Road ain't shit. The fucking there's no city with 3 concentric rings filled with water anywhere on the face of the planet. And what you do find, you're literally cherry picking your data to make this happen. But the possibility is still there for us to find shit under the ice that could change some stuff up. I don't believe that, like, there are pyramids under the fucking Antarctic ice or anything, but I think we're gonna find some really cool shit because there's a giant sinkhole cave system in China that goes down like 1,000 feet, and they found fucking like prehistoric insects and shit because their fucking climate system hasn't changed. I'm like, that could definitely happen there. Like, Antarctica's got some really cool shit. Fuck the Ross Ice Shelf. Everybody's said it before, but fucking Blood Falls is probably one of the most interesting things, interesting features of Antarctica ever. And it's like rust meets with water meets with the sun, and it shines on it in a perfect way that it literally looks like blood. It looks like a blood waterfall. It looks like a waterfall of blood. And it's just okay. You look like you got to say something, so do that. I'm gonna pull this up.
No. I'm just intently listening.
No. Talk while I pull this up because I want to show you this.
All right. So one of the things I do like about AVP, weirdly enough, is it highlights both of the best elements of what made the original so good. The pyramid. It's a large enough space, but it's confined enough where a predator and an alien both work in that sort of scenario.
Right.
It's don't get me wrong, the predator becoming the good guy and allying himself with the humans at the end is a little like, he never would have done that. But no shit.
Yeah. Like, and for the longest time, scientists couldn't figure it out. But there's it's like natural it's like essentially natural rust. It's like that natural oxidization of shit. And it comes out looking like that. And it comes out like blood red. And they couldn't figure it out for the longest time. But there's so much interesting shit there. You could build a fucking entire story behind that.
Oh, 100%.
Like, sorry. Continue.
No, I mean, I was just following along on that one. Sometimes it's good to just be like, even if you are on a podcast and whatnot, it's good to listen at the end of the day. If someone,
you have to actively listen.
Yeah. I mean, just making sure that you actually like understand what the person's interested in and whatnot. Dude, that's dope as fuck. But yeah, no, I agree with you. There's a lot of elements that you can wind up really expanding upon as a byproduct of like what's underneath the ice, and it's 100%. Dude, it's cool as fuck, man.
If you can create a made-for-TV movie about going to South America and going to the top of the largest steppe plateau in the world and finding dinosaurs, finding interesting shit under the Antarctic ice ain't nothing.
Oh, 100%. Dude, I mean, if you can create a movie about fucking going up to Big Bear or whatever and finding avalanche sharks, you can make a movie about fucking anything at this point.
If I can cast John Lithgow in a movie and have him play next to a good value Chewbacca, I can do anything.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Harry and the Hendersons rocks, by the way. Watch it. That shit'll break your heart. All right. I do want us to do a couple more lists though, because these like have started us on a topic, but I want to say this, and this is going to be probably the most controversial thing I'll say all day. Fuck you, Andrew Tate. That's not it. Fuck you, Raid Shadow Legends. That's also not it. Paul W.S. Anderson, the best Anderson.
I don't agree with that, but I mean, like, I know where you're coming from on this one because you and I have talked about this a little bit. No, I'd take.
I also still haven't watched Grand Budapest Hotel yet. I was gonna watch that later tonight.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I've heard nothing but good shit about it.
It's great.
PTA was he the one who did the Royal Tenenbaums?
No, that's Wes.
Okay, I don't like a majority of what Wes does because I really didn't like the Royal Tenenbaums. It was just weird and incesty.
No, Paul Thomas Anderson did
Bottle Rocket.
No, that's Wes.
See, I get all the Andersons confused. This is why I fuck with Paul W.S. because he makes movies that I know.
Yeah. Okay. So Paul Thomas Anderson, Magnolia, friggin' Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood.
That movie with the fake dick.
Yeah, that movie with the fake dick. But
and then there's Boogie Nights.
And then there's
I drink your milkshake. Calm down, bro. It's a milkshake. I abandoned my child.
Just a bastard in a basket.
Fucking, I can't stand Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't like Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't.
I love Daniel Day-Lewis, but
no, go back and live on the wheel. Go back to the wheelchair. Go back to My Left Foot, my boy.
Man, I love him in Gangs of New York.
You know what? I love Liam Neeson's in Gangs of New York. Okay,
for like the 5 seconds he's in it.
Absolutely. I want to say that is a fucking direct descendant of whoever the fuck he is in the Tooken movies.
Maybe. Oh God, that would be a twist, wouldn't it? It's just fucking Liam Neeson's character is a descendant of him and Amsterdam and everything. That'd be I'd actually kind of love that, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying, right?
A lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense. But no, like I love him in those movies where it's like, fan. What's up, man?
What's up, peeps?
What's up, buddy?
Buddy.
Do me a favor. Can you, adjust yourself? Not like that, but your fans really loud in the background.
Fine. I'll suffer in the sweat.
Appreciate you. Welcome in. We're only about 90 minutes in. We've covered a bunch of topics.
We've covered a lot.
We've
jumped around a lot.
We have, but like we always talk eclectically, anyways.
We do.
So real quick before we continue into everything else, let's finish this up. Then I want to ask you a question that me and Sean have already gone over.
For 90 minutes.
Well, no, I mean I'm gonna touch on one of the topics, but hear me out here. What are your thoughts on AVP, like Alien versus Predator? Not like Requiem. No, not Requiem. Just the first AVP movie.
I actually rewatched it recently. I thought it was barely serviceable. I kind of actually dug the action, and I even liked the whole concept of like even though it was like a thrown together origin story, I guess I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was nothing. It wasn't too corny. I did think that the whole team up at the end was kind of shoehorned in, and just came out of nowhere, especially because I'm like, really? The first time you have a Predator team up with a human and it's in that situation? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't fit for me.
Doesn't a Predator team up with Danny Glover in the second one?
No, they just let him escape. I don't know if they really team up. He kills the Predator and then they're like, all right, you killed one of our own. Here's a gun.
He gives him the gun.
Right.
That gun has a dope ass backstory, by the way. I don't know if you've read that comic. Sure. That gun has a dope ass backstory.
Yes. Especially
now. Especially now. Oh, I still haven't watched Prey yet. But the question that I had for Sean was if you had to create a lineup of comedians to do a show and you had to choose 5, they could be alive, they could be dead.
Okay.
You have openers, and then your last one is your main act. Who are your 5?
5 across all time. Okay.
Across all time. Alive, dead, somewhere in between, frozen in time, like Walt Disney.
Okay. Opener is. I don't think it's gonna contradict the others, but I'm gonna go with Fluffy himself, Gabriel Iglesias. Just get everybody warm. So he doesn't curse. He's not too dirty.
Yeah.
He doesn't curse too much, but he's like a nice warm up. You know, so that's why he'd be my opener.
Okay.
Next, and I feel like since Henry that we've like talked about this guy a lot. He's talked about this guy a lot, and I love him too. Andrew Schultz.
Oh, Schultz.
Okay. Schultz.
Okay.
Schultz. My brother introduced me to him like a year and a half ago, and I swear to God, I couldn't stop laughing the first like few weeks I was watching every video of his.
Okay.
So that's be like my second one. Then we got to go into all-time greats. So I would go middle act would be Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
All right.
Opener.
Yeah.
He was Sean's opener. You haven't said anybody I've had so far.
4 would be. Oh man, I forgot somebody. Let's see here. Yeah, why am I forgetting him? Richard Pryor. You gotta go Richard Pryor.
Sean had Richard Pryor at what? Two or three? Three?
Three. Yeah, the third person I had Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
And then this is a guy that my dad introduced me to, and I still think he's the GOAT. George Carlin. Close it out.
Yeah.
George Carlin was my closer, baby. George Carlin was my closer. I started with Aries Spears.
He's a GOAT. Yeah, he's a GOAT.
Next up was Patrice O'Neal, right? Next up was Patrice O'Neal.
Rip.
In facts. Then I had Robin. Robin Williams. Sorry about that, guys. And then I had right before my closer, I had in his prime, Cat Williams.
Ooh, like Pimp Chronicles prime?
Yeah. Every day I'm hustling. Yeah. No, like 08 Cat Williams.
Yeah. That's a good lineup. It's like
that's what I'm saying. Like it's eclectic, but it's not like out of the box. And then obviously Carlin. Yeah. Carlin to fucking end the night.
You just like everything's like modern, and then you go old school with Carlin. Even though Carlin obviously was still like doing stand up until like what 09, 08?
Yeah.
I wound up going with, and I might actually switch Patrice out even because I keep thinking about openers.
Right.
So for my opener, I'm either going to go with Patrice or Sam Kinison.
Okay.
Kinison. Yeah.
Okay.
Kinison just in his prime was a motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
And I wound up going with Bill Burr.
I was thinking Bill Burr, but just the fact that he's from Baltimore threw me off.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think Bill Burr's minimum top 10, arguably.
I agree with that.
Like top 5, arguably. Then I went.
F is for Family is funny as fuck.
Yeah, and then I went Pryor for my third one. I went Carlin for the second to last one, and last one I went Chappelle.
I was about to say, I think I might put Chappelle instead of Pryor now.
Yeah, I put Chappelle at number 1 just because I think that, like, here's the thing: there's a lot of specials that Chappelle did with that like 6 special deal that he did with Netflix. Some of them aren't great.
It's fair.
He also took like nearly a decade off of doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like recorded material. And then he came out with Sticks and Stones.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, and it's like, whoa, did Dave Chappelle just drop arguably the best stand-up special ever
in a decade?
Yeah. And then on top of that, and that's including, like, because Bill Burr, he did friggin' what's it called? I'm Sorry You Feel That Way.
Yeah.
Which is his black and white special, which is arguably one of the best specials ever. And that was only
honorable mention to Eddie Griffin.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody always forgets him. DL Hughley as well.
Oh yeah.
And Dion Cole, as a matter of fact.
Dion
Cole is like a low key fucking hilarious. He's low key fucking hilarious.
Great fucking special. Great.
I was thinking Bill Hicks also. Good old
I wanted to go Hicks, but like I was thinking more about like the lineup. And I just kind of felt like Hicks would fuck with the vibe, to be honest.
We also made the Alex Jones joke like at minute 15.
I don't even think it took that long, to be honest with you, man. Like straight up. We're gonna go back and look at the timestamps for this episode and just like, because this is like pandemonium basically in conversation.
Absolutely.
But
I mean that's the way that fucking our conversations have always gone, and I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy this type of format more than sitting down editing it out, because I don't want to delete anything out of what I said, especially the shit that I said about Andrew Tate, Diablo Immortal, and fucking Raid Shadow Legends. Well, 3 of you can go fuck yourself. You're the fuckboy trifecta.
Agreed on that one. But I mean, like, admittedly though, so far we haven't really had a whole lot of dead air time, so that's a little good.
Yeah.
But
speaking of people who have passed on, rip to a couple of the last comedic legends that we were just talking about.
Are you gonna talk about Anne Heche's butthole again?
I'm not gonna talk about Anne Heche's butthole this time. I was actually gonna ask you what your favorite Stanley cameos were.
Ooh. Oh, I mean, I know number one is for me.
I have number one. I have my definitive. This will probably forever be my favorite Stanley cameo.
I'll just say what mine is, and you guys will know.
I feel like I know. I feel like it's not live action.
It's not.
I knew. All right.
It always fits.
Sure will fit. Eventually. That's the one.
We were friends, It fucking breaks my heart. I'm welling up right now, bro.
Every single
fucking
time, man.
It fucking breaks my heart, dude. But that is by far like my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Followed by
is everyone in agreement on this one? That's number one.
That's our top of all time. And
yeah,
is that you, Spider-Verse, or do you have a different one? Are you going to be the contrarian here?
Are we counting only like movies? Like we get on like TV shows even or no?
I'm not gonna call. Well, it has to be a cameo. It can't be an episode of Comic Book Men.
No. I'm talking about like. So I'm sure you guys have both seen the Spider-Man animated series, right?
Oh yeah.
Hello, true believer.
I know.
It's the last. I think it's the last aired episode, and they left it on a cliffhanger
where he goes and talks to Stanley.
Yeah, honestly, that's like a really cool. Like that's a really weird.
That's actually 100%.
It's a cool meta moment.
That's a really good. That's a really good choice. That's a really good choice.
I can't help but always watch that and be like, wow, he actually got to meet his creation in real life. Even though I know obviously it was scripted, but just imagine if he actually really did get to meet his like creation in real life, and
He's
just ask Spider-Man questions.
Ooh. Who's the best Spider-Man villain?
Spider-Man villain?
Spider-Man villain. Because I'll tell you right now my thoughts on this.
I had an answer for this, and then I was told recently by a fellow geek
nerd
who's into like comics way more than I, who told me he's not a villain, he's an anti-hero, and I'm like, okay.
The Punisher doesn't count.
No, I meant Venom.
No,
okay, hold on.
Venom is now an anti-hero.
Now
when he was first created, Venom was a villain. Venom was 100% an antagonist to Peter Parker and to Spider-Man himself.
And to the world.
Exactly. But no, Venom was 100% a villain when he first came out.
So then I'm still sticking with that. It's just like I always heard recently, Venom's not like that bad a guy. He can team up, all this stuff. And I'm like,
after years of being on Earth, after years of being attached to humans, he is finding a way to become more human while still staying a fucking symbiote.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because like they kind of like made him kind of a dick, and then they made him like a good guy in the movie.
Don't be a pussy.
Right.
Oh
yeah, I'm thinking of Venom then.
There's a deep fake of me as Venom, like the Tom Hardy Venom. It's a fucking trip, dude.
I still have the picture that Grant did of me as fucking Gimli.
All right, I remember that one. It's so perfect.
It so works, dude. It works so well.
I don't know why, but for whatever reason, me in Christian Bale and Tom Hardy deepfakes just works really well for whatever reason. But I think
no idea who I would fit.
If I'm gonna go with
Hector from Fast and the Furious,
best Spider-Man villain, I'm gonna go with Doc Ock.
Okay.
just because of how many different iterations there have been of Doc Ock and how good he has been.
I think Doc Ock got humbled in Superior Spider-Man #1. When he rocked the fucking Scorpion's jaw off his body.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, Parker has been holding back on me this entire time. Holy fuck.
Yep.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. Mine, and you kind of hinted at it a little bit. We're
Carnage?
talking no, fuck no. We're talking the '90s cartoon, and we're talking waved up Norman Osborn.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like Norman Osborn from the fucking Spider-Man cartoon is by far my favorite Spider-Man.
You're not even going Green Goblin. You're just going
Norman. Just Norman Osborn. Dude, Norman Osborn was a fucking menace to society, bro. And he had the coldest waves, dog. Like,
yeah. Even Harry too. I was like, what the hell? That shit's
hereditary? For real. Like, what are y'all doing? Just at night in Oz in
they got that soul glow.
Bro, they tie do-rags around their heads before going to bed, making sure they keep that wave cap on. Oh my god. But no, he was just a fucking menace to society, man. Who has the best rogues gallery?
Batman.
Out of all comics.
Batman. Easy.
So I used to agree.
I think an argument could be made for Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna go Spidey. I used to think Batman, but I don't know.
I like more,
but it's one of the two. In terms of fame, at least.
In terms of fame, 100%.
Like in terms of fame, you can definitely do that. I mean,
but the thing is,
that was an underrated rogues gallery. It's gonna sound weird here. Flash. Absolutely. Yes. The Flash has an underrated rogues gallery.
Because the Flash's rogues gallery can actually like take over the world. That's the thing. Batman has a famous rogues gallery, but they could never really team up to like they could team up to take over Gotham. That's it. They can't really go anywhere beyond Gotham.
I will respect the Joker though, because he's crazy.
Well,
but he's crazy, but he's American crazy. And won't team up with the Red Skull because the Red Skull's a literal fucking Nazi.
Now, I will.
The Joker could kill the Justice League too. You know, that's the fucked up part. Like he actually could like take over.
I will say,
I say Spidey. Ooh,
pretty underrated rogues gallery.
Omni-Man's a bitch. Superman Solo's Omni-Man, hands down.
Superman
Solo's Omni-Man. It goes Superman, Omni-Man, Homelander.
Yeah, 100%.
What about then Goku, then Saitama?
Saitama on top. Let's be real here.
I knew you were gonna say Saitama.
Bro, his entire shtick is beating people. I don't want to hear it. No, fuck you.
Man. Come on, Jay. Stop with that.
No,
he hates Dragon Ball Z. That's why he doesn't.
I don't hate Dragon Ball Z. Actually, I really enjoyed Dragon Ball Z when I was a fucking 13-year-old coming home from school when Toonami was on, so I could have a fucking snack, look at my granddad's Playboys, and watch the fucking Namek saga. But I'm sorry, I don't need 90 fucking episodes to tell a 5-minute story. I don't need it. Literally, it's an 18. By the time Frieza does his little thing and puts his fucking finger down and the fucking core of Namek's gonna explode, there are 18 episodes that span a total of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck Dragon Ball Z.
I mean,
I love it.
Power as an example.
Oh, for Super? I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm in the middle of watching that one right now.
They still do the same thing, honestly. Like they make a whole.
I'm not gonna lie though. Super has made me laugh my ass off. Probably harder than I've laughed in like the last month.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With when Mr. Satan meets the dog aliens, and he's I'm not gonna fight you. You got to fight Goku, and Goku's like, I can't do this. Mr. Satan punched me right here, and he punches him in the face, and he flies away, and he's like, oh wait, I forgot my tractor.
Yeah,
flies down, picks up his tractor. I don't know why, but that just fucking cracked me up, dude. I fucking rolled.
Yeah, Super. But besides making me laugh, Super actually got me emotional a couple of times, and I was surprised. Like the writing actually got a little bit more. I don't know, like tugging your heartstrings, making you feel like
they've got a new animation style, and that's the thing that I don't like about it.
You don't like it? I don't know. What now? Like in the movies too. Like I feel like the movie ones are really upgraded too.
I think the last one I watched was Resurrection F when they brought back Frieza.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't see Broly? No. Okay.
No, I don't give a fuck about Broly. Like it's cool you're making Broly canon, but Broly's the biggest bitch in all of fucking Dragon Ball Z. Like he's a bigger bitch than Vegeta, and Vegeta's a giant vagina. Tell me I'm wrong.
All right, but speaking of Ant, you mentioned that Dragon Ball Super made you a little bit emotional, right?
Yeah, there's 2 times. I'm not gonna spoil it for Jay because he's still watching, but there was 2 times I can already remember like random episodes, and I was like, wow, they really kind of went for it here, and I was like, shit. Okay.
Eat, sleep, and train hard. That is the turtle hermit way.
Right.
So, whether it be a TV show or a movie, all have a very specific moment within any film or piece of media that it doesn't really matter when we watch it. It can be the first time we watch it or 10 years later. It will still make you cry your goddamn eyes out.
Oh, shit.
I was like 3 right off the bat.
As a more sort of like, because we've been kind of like, we've been being fucking boys and shit like that on this fucking first episode of this podcast. What is the film or TV show or just a single moment that just, it doesn't seem to matter when you watch it, but it really just gets you emotionally?
I got it. Oh, I got one.
I got one for sure. And
we've already talked about.
Oh yeah,
it's something we've already talked about. It's the Stanley cameo. It's that whole. It's the whole reveal of the death of Peter Parker and Spider-Man being Peter. Being Peter Parker, Peter A. Parker. That whole little montage right there, concluding with that Stanley cameo, breaks me every time.
Okay.
Every time.
Yeah, I mean, it gets me.
It's breaking me right now. Like
I can tell you even thinking about it.
Yeah, man.
Ant-Man, what about you?
Actually, I'll keep it superhero related. I just thought of this one, but look, for real. So the scene in Black Panther where he first earns the mantle of king, and he goes back to the afterlife to see his father for the first time.
Oh, that's a good one.
That always and then I'm like, just him seeing him after, like, that's the first time he saw him after, like, he failed to save him, and the fact that he like almost like begs his forgiveness. He's like, stand up, you're a king now. Like, I don't need you to apologize. Like, I don't blame you. That just, any sort of moments where like it's a father son or brother, but like that one always like kind of got me to tear up a little bit. No matter how many times I see it, I'm just like, damn. That's what a son would do. He just still beg forgiveness, but the father's like, no, it's okay. Like, you gotta be a man now. That's it.
Yeah,
I have 4.
Jay, keep going.
No. Like, do you have one specifically that popped into your head? I want to hear what you have before I just jump in. I'm not trying to, like, I love the sound of my own voice, but I don't want to overstep everybody else here.
Okay, so there's like a few different moments in this movie, and I talked about it on the video store last week. And these moments like fuck me up like bad, like real fucking bad. So in 50-50,
okay,
the scene where Adam has to take Kyle home when Kyle's drunk at the bar, and Adam goes to the bathroom after laying him down on the couch, and he goes to take a piss, and he just looks directly to the right of him, and there is a book on the table that says "Facing Cancer Together." And he opens it up and he just sees all the shit that's highlighted and underlined and fucking all the notes and shit like that. And there's not a single word said in that scene. And it makes me cry my fucking eyes out like every time I see it. But then the scene that really fucking gets me, and I think it part of it is, I don't know if it's and I'll be fully like sort of transparent on this. I don't know if it's a narcissistic aspect of this, because I've been told that I look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt on a number of different occasions, and especially as Adam Lerner. I was at a point in my life where I was young, I was very thin, and it was very noticeable. But the moment where he's going into surgery at the end of that movie fucks me up so bad, because Angelica Houston, who plays his mom, has the same haircut and facial features as my mom.
Oh damn.
Yeah. That, and the moment where he goes like, he's like, well, what if I don't wake up? What if the anesthesia doesn't work? And he just goes, Mom. And he just puts his hand out and grabs his mom's hand. It's just like, I fucking die every time. every single fucking time. And then she just holds him, and she's like, "You're gonna be okay." And then the doctor just goes, "Ma'am, we have to take him into surgery." And she goes, "In a minute." And
yeah, I like that part. She's like a little bit angry, like, you know.
Just like, Jesus, dude, like it hit me so hard. Like I remember I was watching that scene with my girlfriend, and I was trying so hard to like fucking disguise the fact that I was crying, and I was fucking dying because it was like the nightmare scenario, you know, where it's like my mom would have to potentially see me in that situation. And so yeah, that's the one for me, like that just gets me over all others, that just takes me to a completely like fuck, that just destroyed me sort of place.
All right, before I actually start crying
right now,
before I actually start crying, I have to say
I've made cry on a
this is bullshit. You get to look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I've been told I look like Guy Fieri's love child with Violent J from ICP. Go fuck yourself. No, it's not only that, but there are scenes that just pop into my head, and like there are two from the same movie that do it for me like every time. I may not be able to carry the ring, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, there are three in that movie. God damn it. There's that. There's now maybe the Hour of Men and Wolves and Shattered Shields. I Bid You Stand, Men of the West.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that one's great.
That's more just like, let's go.
The same fear that would take the heart of me.
The heart of me.
God,
yes, it's such a great fucking speech. And then My Friends, you bow to no one.
Oh, that
breaks me every time, dude. Every fucking time,
dude. The when I saw that in the theaters in 2003, it was the only time I've ever been privy to this. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had people stand up and applaud for a movie, like a few people and stuff like that, or people clap for a movie or whatever before it goes on.
Oh no, I freaked out, bro. In the theaters, I was yelling in my seat and shit.
There was a full 3-minute standing ovation.
Yeah, because the only thing that's left is
in the theater that I was in after it ended. Like, we all stood there just clapping. I remember being like 9 years old, fucking going into that shit, and like everyone lost it. And
damn young piece of shit.
Yeah, dude, it came out in 2003. Actually, it might have been 10. Actually, I was 10 because it came out at Christmas time, so I was 10 at the time.
The death of Luke Skywalker gets me.
Yeah.
Really?
Because
it's you love Last Jedi, though, right?
But it's also full circle. You get Luke's theme. You get him looking at a binary sunset. True. It's the exact opposite of the first scene that we see him in when he's looking at a binary sunrise. The first portion of the Tales of Ba Sing Se.
Oh yeah,
what is that? I never heard of it.
That is Iroh going to.
Oh yeah,
I am about to start crying right now.
Yeah. Don't even sing that. Don't even try to sing that fucking song, dude.
That is Iroh going through Ba Sing Se, helping a group of kids, helping a teenager, and helping an adult. Going up to the hill, it's saying goodbye to his son.
Boy. Oh yeah. I just did that.
You try to trigger him in.
Oh yeah. No.
Fuck, that one breaks me every time.
Dude, every time. Ooh, you know which one gets me from? So we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
Yeah. It's Avatar.
Still a show I haven't seen, but I'm sure maybe there'll be more.
Oh, man, you need to watch it, bro. It's such a kid's show, but it's such not a kid's show.
I didn't see it until I was an adult. I didn't watch it when I was a kid.
I watched it when it came out, dude, and I was fucking in love with it.
I missed out on it so bad. I would go with the Avatar and the Fire Lord. That episode with Ron Perlman and Avatar Roku. Ron Perlman as Firelord Sozin.
Sozin.
Oh, dude, I love that episode.
No,
that episode gets me so much. Oh my god, that episode is so good. It's that to me is like, I'd say that's number one for me in terms of my favorite episodes of that show.
Tales of Ba Sing Se is my number one. My number two most emotional moment in that show is Zuko visiting Iroh in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not framed as Iroh is the one who is in jail, even though Iroh is the one who is in jail. It's Zuko who's framed in the way that he is, and then he gets the forgiveness that he never got from his dad.
Oh yeah.
From his grandpa, and that shit is fucking amazing.
This is a kid's show? Wow.
Yeah, man, this is a kid's show. It's
kid's show.
I know, right? A lot of kids shows that like have like a lot of grown up adult moments like that, and it's like, yeah.
The death of Littlefoot's grandma in the first Land Before Time movie.
Oh god. I just
oh
man, it went out of my head.
When you're a kid, you see that one. Fuck, that's
good. Emotionally powerful, but doesn't make me cry, but like wells me up inside. I Am Iron Man.
Oh yeah, with
same movie, but it's more like when Iron Man first sees Spidey after Spidey saves him.
Hug.
And he gives him the hug. No words from Iron Man. Spidey's just like, what the hell? But at the same, it's a little bit funny, right? It's funny, but at the same time, it's just Robert's face just says it all. Like, just he hasn't seen him for 5 years, man. It's just like that always just gets me, man.
Andrew Garfield catching MJ.
That's a great
one.
The one for me. And I was sitting there, and I was so glad I had 3D glasses on.
Oh no!
Avatar.
Next to my best friend during Endgame, and when Scott Lang comes out of the quantum realm,
yeah,
and he's going across those graves and going, Cassie, right. And he's his own name,
yeah,
and then he goes back to that house, and he sees her, and she just stops.
You've gotten so big.
Yeah, he's just like, you got so big. That one fucking kills me. Dude, and it's a very rare, it's a big time, minor possibility that this ever happens. If I ever get to meet Paul Rudd, I'm going to look at him and be like, fuck you for making me cry that hard.
That's Paul being dramatic.
Yeah.
Which is very rare. Pulling it off well.
Needs to do more often because he's so fucking good.
He's so good at it. I loved him in Our Idiot Brother.
Oh,
it was a really like it's Paul Rudd doing his Paul Rudd thing, but being a little mentally handicapped.
Oh,
okay.
Living with Myself.
Yeah.
The
great.
The death of
show, right?
The death of Aunt May.
Oh yeah. And
which one?
Which one?
There are two. There are two.
Yeah.
About the game?
Yes.
That's one. That's one. I just recently replayed Spider-Man.
Can I just see
that's gonna
my nephew? Fuck, dude. Brutal.
It breaks my heart. It absolutely breaks my heart.
Every time, man. Dude,
I think that moment influenced No Way Home.
I definitely think it did.
Yeah.
But also the death of Aunt Bay. Watching Marissa Tomei die was just fucking painful.
Only because you know why? Because I don't know about you guys, but there was a second where I was like, no, they're not gonna do this, and I was like, no, they're really doing it, and then that's when I lost it.
Man,
it was like sold so well.
The last half of that movie makes me cry. I said it on Twitter like fucking 3 weeks ago. There are like 8 points in that movie that make me fucking cry. Also, when Toby catches the glider from fucking Tom when he's bringing it down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and by the way, that just showed Toby was always the strongest Spider-Man.
Facts.
By
Will Smith choking the dog in I Am Legend.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man.
Hey, fuck you.
No,
I'm sitting over here like a blubbery bitch right
That's what
now.
I'm saying. No,
you
that
have to
always
fucking deal with it too.
All right, I got one, and this might actually get me kind of in the similar state that Jay's in. The death of Arthur Morgan.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, his last ride.
I get you.
Oh, I haven't played the game.
Oh, you haven't played Red Dead? Oh yeah,
I played the first one, but I know Arthur Morgan's the second one, right?
Arthur Morgan's the second.
And I kind of already knew he died, but I was like, all right. So
Arthur's
John Marston.
That got me.
Yeah,
like
that one made me angry more than anything else.
It made me angry cry only because I was like, no, fuck that. I want to kill everybody. Fuck this shit. I don't want to fuck.
Yeah.
So Arthur with his tuberculosis. And he's been fucking just going as hard as he possibly can. And he takes Sadie and Abigail after he rescues Abigail, drops them off, and he just goes, I got some things I gotta take care of. And fucking Abigail's like, no, Arthur goes, oh, don't you owe Arthur me. You're good women, good people. And she hands back the key to Dutch's chest. The key to Dutch's chest. And he goes, Abigail Roberts. And you just see for the last time, Arthur puts on his hat. He gets on his horse and he goes on his one last ride. And the music behind it just destroys you. And all you hear is all the things that you have done. Especially if you did a good playthrough, a higher honor playthrough, you're sitting there. And all you hear is, you're a good man. I wish you just did it before you worked yourself to death. Like all this other stuff. And it just fucking hits you so hard. And then the last thing that you do is you go and you save John Marston. You don't go back for the money. I'm going to do anything. I'm going to get you out of here if it's the last goddamn thing I do. And then you have a shootout on top of a fucking mountain where you're just making sure John gets out safe. And that's the last thing that you do as Arthur Morgan. And he just, fuck, man. And the last
games
thing
can be impactful as fuck, bro.
The last thing
you want to talk about a visual medium that's underrepresented. Fuck me.
And the last thing he says to Dutch, because he and Micah get into a fight, and fucking Arthur's going for the gun to finish Micah off, and Dutch just steps on the gun. He goes, it's over. And he just goes, he's a rat, Dutch. I gave you all I had. And by the way, this is after your horse gets shot, who you've been bonding with for the entire game. So you're just fucking drained. You're just like, fuck, it's too much.
I gotta buy this game.
Dude, it's great. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's the greatest game ever made.
Really?
I really do. And I know that that's like, it's just all opinion and stuff, but like in terms of a storytelling game, it's the greatest game ever made, and you will fucking like love it.
It's such an in-depth storyline. Going back to Avengers, I'm Still Worthy.
Oh yeah. Oh,
all right.
Everyone always forgets it because there's so many fucking emotional moments in that movie, but
I knew it.
That's more of a hell yeah moment.
That was when my theater cheered.
You don't get a little bit of both.
I do. I like.
Come on.
I think more. It was more emotionally impactful in my theater when he finally said Avengers Assemble.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Avengers. Fucking dude. You could hear
the death of John Coffey.
Oh yeah,
yes. Man. Dang, whoa,
John Coffey. The toys in Toy Story 3.
Oh, but going into the fire.
Yeah, going into the incinerator, holding hands.
That was depressing for me at the moment because I was like, are they gonna do what I think they're gonna do? And then that's why I started like fucking breaking down.
John Merrick, in the subway station or in the train station in The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Jojo finding his mom hanging in Jojo Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers. Fuck. All right. Oh.
The movie's
That's okay.
fucking 3 years old. Like you're way past the statute of limitations.
I got. I ever since you guys mentioned, I keep saying I gotta watch it. You know, I've been watching new movies, and I'm like, I should have fucking put that on.
The end of Parasite.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh god.
The end of Parasite. Dad, I'm gonna go buy that house.
I know this has been overused a lot. I still can't get over it. But the beginning of Up, come on.
Yeah, the first 8 minutes of Up, the most emotionally damaging movie ever fucking made. Cool. Yeah, 100%. I'll wreck y'all with a phrase. Take you to the moon for me.
Oh yeah.
The death of Bing Bong, bro.
Now, see, I don't think either of you guys have seen this, but I'm just so because of that, I'm just going to be very selective with what I say. Let It Rip from The Bear.
Mm-mm.
Oh no!
Is that the show you're watching on Hulu?
I've seen all of it now at this point.
Wow, obviously I know why.
I saw all of it like weeks ago at this point. I burned through it in like a night.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man. The episodes are 30 minutes. There's 8 of them, and yeah, it's Jeremy Allen White as a chef, and he goes
underrated actor.
Oh, yeah, he takes over his brother. So his brother killed himself.
Okay.
He takes over his brother's restaurant. You learn that real early on, but he takes over his brother's restaurant, and he is having a really fucking hard time of it. And the thing is, Carmen, who Jeremy Allen White plays, was the CDC at the #1 rated restaurant in the world. So he's going back to his brother's restaurant to basically try and fix everything that's gone wrong. And he's abandoned the best thing that he ever could have possibly done just so he can keep his brother's legacy going. Because he feels responsible for it. And it's unbelievable. Like, dude, Jeremy Allen White's going to win every fucking award this year for The Bear.
Every Emmy possible.
Like, straight up, every Emmy, every fucking golden, like, I'm not kidding. He's going to win all of them.
I think Better Call Saul's going to sweep it, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's
just because Better Call Saul's ending. Or ended.
Honestly,
no, but they stepped it up. As far I know, it's kind of hard to say because they've always been amazing, but they stepped it up.
They did.
I can't say that I've ever seen an episode. I've seen like TikToks of it.
I hear you.
If someone's going to steal it from Bob Odenkirk, it's going to be Jeremy Allen White.
All right, yeah.
It's going to be him. He has a 7-minute monologue in the last episode of The Bear. And you're just like, you sit there and you're just like, wow, that was an amazing monologue. And it's not until after you finish the episode where you go and look on YouTube and it's like the 7-minute monologue. You know, that was 7 minutes. Like, that's how good the acting is. It just flies by.
Bob has played essentially 3 people in this last season. And it's just, I'm just like, it does it flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
I Am Superman from Iron Giant.
All right.
That's a good one too.
Always gets me.
We are not letting go of this shit that makes you cry shit.
No, we're not, because now I'm on IMDb. I've got IMDb pulled up, and it's the 100 most it's the 100 most memorable moments, and I'm just fucking cherry picking through here right now.
I got one for one that like literally I could pull up right now and it would make me fucking cry. You guys are gonna think I'm the biggest fucking loser ever for this shit.
Go ahead. What?
Flash season 2.
Oh shit! I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
When he goes to Earth 2.
Gotta run faster, Barry.
No. When he goes to Earth 2, and he's married to Iris, and everything's pretty well what he wanted. And he goes inside his house. And Iris goes, oh, by the way, your mom called. Oh, that hurts. He goes, oh, your mom called. And then he just sees the fucking phone. And it says Bruce, Diana, Hal, Mom and Dad.
Right.
And he calls his mom and dad, and and just hears the phone ring, and then he hears his mom's voice for the first time since he had to let her die in order to become the Flash. And she goes, "Here, are you okay?" And he goes, "I'm fine, Mom. I just want to let you know that I love you." And it's just like every time. And by the way, that's not the first time in the Flash where it made me cry, because those scenes,
the first episode made me cry, bro.
I think when he proposed, honestly, I know that's corny. Call me a loser for that, but I think when he proposed to Iris, that's because he's got Grant Gustin's got an amazing voice, in my opinion. Yeah. So the fact that that original song, and I as much as I know that some guys would be like, oh, it's kind of like a weird way, but hey, being able to sing an original song in order to propose to your girlfriend, I think it's pretty fucking.
Anytime
tug to the heartstrings,
dude. I knew anytime he had a scene with John Wesley Shipp.
Oh god,
where he'd be in, when he was at the prison, I was just like, it would start in the prison. I'd be like, fuck, I'm about to cry. Great. Great. I'm gonna cry in like 5 minutes. That's wonderful. And then it would just fucking destroy me.
It's so weird how so many like nerdy geek stuff can have such emotional moments. It's not just the freaking Best Picture Oscar winning shit. It's always the stuff that has like superheroes,
It's the stuff that has value to you from
man
nowadays, but when you were a kid. And on top of that, it's the level of attention to detail that people wind up giving to the things that they wind up caring about. Like, let's face it,
the 9/11 issue of Spider-Man.
Oh, dude. Oh, yo, Jay, you're gonna fucking love this. Sorry, dude. I don't want to cut you off.
You're good.
So, my best friend turned 30 about 2 months ago.
Oh, happy belated.
On June 6th. And he's started his comic book collection about 8 months ago. So
I'm like the present.
Well, he has he had a few like graphic novels and stuff, but I wanted to like get him a really nice comic.
Yeah.
That was in my price range to get him for his 30th birthday.
Right.
So I got him a mint condition copy of that 9/11 issue.
That 9/11 issue is just fucking fuego, bro. That's such a good episode. That's such a good issue of the comic. Just watching Von Doom cry. Like, you broke Victor Von Doom, bro.
Oh,
do you know how dangerous that is?
Oh, that's
like,
that's not good.
No,
that's not good to
say.
Like,
I really want to see an alternate universe where that happens. That is the jumping off point of Victor Von Doom just crushing the Taliban. Like, teaming up with Victor Von Doom and Magneto, teaming up together and just fucking eradicating the Taliban. Like, boom.
Oh yeah.
Because Von Doom doesn't like that because it makes immigrants look bad. Magneto doesn't like it because Magneto's a fucking Jew and suffered. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, Magneto at the gates of fucking Auschwitz. Oh no, I'm sorry.
In First Class?
Is it Auschwitz? No, it's not Auschwitz. It's
It's just like a
Dachau?
camp.
No, they have the name on it.
No, it's Dachau. I think you're right.
Is it Dachau? Yeah, because Arbet and Max Fry was on the fucking gate, right?
Yeah, I think it's Dachau.
Screaming for his mom in the original, not First Class, but the original.
Both are good though, admittedly.
Both are really good. But I think the first one hits me more. Nobody even needs to say it, but 90% of fucking Schindler's List. 90% of Schindler's List. Life is beautiful. All of life is beautiful.
Oh, dude, the thing. Okay, how many tries did it take either of you guys to watch Schindler's List?
Like 5.
Yeah,
I had to watch it in the way that I had to watch it in the way that like people recommended watching the Snyder Cut. Like, you got to take that bitch in segments, bro.
Yeah.
You got to take that bitch in segments. I don't think I've ever been able to actually watch that movie all the way through.
Yeah, I watched all the way through once because I had to stop, and it was every time it was the same fucking moment. It was when those Jewish families are getting gunned down, and that Nazi is playing piano.
Yeah. That movie, like, I get why it won all the awards, but holy fuck, dude.
Yeah,
like, if you think that, like, The Passion of the Christ is torture porn,
or it's a hard watch, it's like, go watch Schindler's List. Schindler's List.
Go fuck yourself. Go watch Schindler's List.
Schindler's List is a way, like, dude.
No wonder Spielberg didn't want to get paid to make that movie.
Well, not just that, but I think all of us know this because we're all big Spielberg fans, and we're all, film junkies and stuff. You know what Spielberg had to do during that filming, right?
Probably go to therapy.
Well, he had to go to therapy.
Well, I mean, he went to a lot of fucking therapy.
But when he was depressed because of everything that he had to film during that fucking whole process, he'd call Robin Williams and get him to do minutes worth of stand up for him. Every single night, just so he could feel a little bit better about himself.
Feel a little bit joy. This is why Robin Williams is in my stand-up category, bro.
This is after Hook, so he owes him that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, just by 2 years, yeah. It was like, dude, it was brutal on him, and yeah, man, it took me probably 4 or 5 times trying to watch it where I could finally actually get through it, because it just hits you in such a hard place. It's such a tough watch, man. I haven't watched it since because I just can't. Like,
I got a couple. Sorry.
No, dude. No, dude, do your thing. I'm fucking talking.
No.
No,
It's good. We're just like, Holocaust movies fucking hurt my soul. So I'm gonna bounce to something a little bit lighter, and I'm gonna go to Doctor Who, and I have 2 specific examples from Doctor Who. Technically, I have 3. I have a lot of examples from Doctor Who. Okay, because this show makes me fucking cry my goddamn eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
But when Wilf goes into the chamber, when Tennant is there with the Master, and they've led up to the Master is the man who will knock 4 times and then you will die. And then Wilf, rest in peace. God damn it. Cribbins died fucking a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. He knocks on the glass 4 times. And it's in that moment that Tennant knows that's when he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
His I don't want to go gets me.
God damn it. Yeah.
His I don't want to go gets me every time.
It's the way he says it, man.
His heart breaks. You can feel his fucking heart break when he says the line.
That's not him acting at that point.
No, that's just him not wanting to give up the fucking role.
He didn't want to give the role, man.
No, man, he never did. He knew it was going to come at some point, but it's just, the moment where he actually had to accept it. He saved it for all of us.
That moment where he has to erase Donna's memory and erase the port of the Time Lord in Donna will always break my heart. Will 100% always break my heart.
If we're going with Doctor Who, I mean, I know Tennant's like the best Doctor, but my first was Matt Smith.
I was going to say,
is it Matt Smith? Is it Matt Smith at the Musée d'Orsay? The 100 words that fucking Bill Nighy says about Vincent van Gogh, because that was mine. Because that was my next one.
Yeah, that's one. But no, my main one is honestly when he regenerates, and he's like also like he's going back to his normal young self, and just has that short speech about saying how I will always remember my time when the Doctor was me, and then he sees he just sees Amy, for like a few 5 seconds. I know it's like Karen Gillan, like during when she's filming Guardians, but I was like, thought it was awesome when she came back for that, and she says goodbye, Raggedy Man, and then I also thought it was sad because I think Matt's Doctor and Jenna Coleman I forgot her name, but like in the show. But
Missy?
I mean, no, her name. But anyway, I thought like they might have actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oswald.
Yeah, Clara
Oswald, right?
Clara.
I thought like they maybe might have gotten together. It's almost like Tenet with Rose. Like I thought they would have gotten together. Same thing. Like that goodbye also got me to cry too. But like she was like, I think she fell in love with Matt, and I was like, fuck. And then he became fucking old ass Capaldi, and that's when I started to write that.
I have got one for you guys. All right. 1 batch, 2 batch, penny and dime.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Punch.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Now. 1 batch, 2 batch, penny and dime was her favorite story. She made me read it to her every single night before I left for the war.
Fuck you,
dude. That's
I knew exactly where you were going as soon as I heard 1 batch, 2 batch. But god damn it, dog.
I always thought he meant bad batch, but I was like, no, he meant pressure.
Penny and dime. Fuck. Bernthal.
Such a good Punisher.
Fucking scene.
He's the best Punisher.
Such a good Punisher.
He is the Punisher.
I really like. You know what? Say what you will. I like Thomas Jane.
Oh, Thomas Jane's good, but John's the best.
John's the Punisher. Yeah, John's the Punisher. John's any role that he wants to be.
Yeah,
in my opinion. John's any role that he wants to be. But dude, that fucking scene is destruction for grown men.
Oh yeah. Well, there's that, and to go back to Doctor Who real quick, another Matt Smith moment when they're on the planet that deals with memory, and that's how that's their like currency is experience and memory, and the fucking giant pyramid in space wakes up, and he sucks all of the fucking pain and all of the hatred that Matt Smith has had over 900 years.
Oh, right. Okay.
And yeah.
Oh, it took me a while.
Come and get it. Come and get it. Like it
and it's fucking painful for that.
Bro, there's so fucking many examples. We've literally spent like a half hour on this topic alone. There's so many emotional fucking moments. Yeah, you got some.
I got 3. Well, everyone's seen Kenobi, right?
Yeah.
So
and is it the you didn't kill me?
No, that guy may be like, oh shit, okay. And maybe gotta get there. It was more at the end when he goes back to see Leia, and right before he goes back, he's like, "You asked me if I knew your parents." He's like, "What I can tell you is that you are wise, discerning, and kind-hearted. These are qualities you got from your mother, but you're also passionate, fearless, forthright." And these are qualities you got from your father. And it plays her theme is amazing. So I'm glad
Leia's fucking it's master, dude. It's a master class in composition.
So I cried the first time I saw it, and then I was showing my girl, and then she started because she loves young Leia's now one of like a top 5 character. Not right. Leia, young Leia. Top 1, yeah. So just hearing her theme and just that. Because yeah, man, it's still the story itself that she doesn't know who her parents are, and the fact that her parents were 2 of the most influential people and just great people that she's never really gonna meet, and it's just like, but she has the best qualities of both of them, and it's just so freaking, and especially because Obi-Wan's also in a way just sad that she's never really gonna get to know them, and then just her face during that whole exchange. Tell me too much about them, but she appreciates.
Keeping with Star Wars,
all right.
Spoilers for Rebels.
Oh, I was gonna go Rebels. Go ahead.
the death of Kanan Jarrus.
Yes. The most badass death, I think, actually in Star Wars, right?
Bro, the Force gave him his sight back so he could see Hera one last time, and then dies. What? Bro, no, that shit breaks me every time.
I feel like we've had Jay crying for the past hour.
We have, dude. But in such a good way. It's so cathartic.
It is, isn't it?
The tale of Jiraiya the Gallant. the death of Jiraiya in Naruto Shippuden.
Oh, Naruto
Gets me every fucking time.
Another anime I haven't seen.
Every time, dude.
The death of
Naruto. Naruto asking his first sensei to walk him down the aisle because his dad's dead. When he gets married to Hinata. Spoilers for
he gets married. Shit. All right, cool.
Yeah, how the fuck do you think Boruto had it?
Oh, I forgot about that. I honestly forgot that show.
Finding out that Itachi was right. Finding out that Itachi slaughtered everybody in the Uchiha clan because the Uchihas were gonna do a coup in Konoha, and Itachi slaughters everybody, and Sasuke hates him. Naruto Shippuden. It's on the list. Shippuden, the entire fucking thing, dude. That fucking goddamn show gets me. This world shall know pain. Wake up to reality. Fucking Madara's speeches.
I got two for you.
All right.
Still stick with anime. You're going back to live action.
One is animated and one's gonna be live action, and one of them you guys make fucking fun of me for.
You said that about the freaking Flash. Go ahead.
This one you genuinely will make fun of.
All right, we'll see.
Just because of how cheesy it is. Even if it's in a great movie, it's a cheesy fucking line. And
it's wake up, Dad. Dad, wake up from the Lion King.
No, I don't. One of them.
No, it still gets me. Fuck you.
It does. No, it does.
One of them. There's multiple moments in this movie. How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh shit! Spoilers. I haven't seen it, but go ahead.
What? Oh no, I can't do that.
Oh no, you can't. You can't. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
there's that movie, and then there's Big Hero 6.
Yeah,
Big Hero 6 I've seen. Okay.
There's also a scene in How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Yeah, there is one scene in How to Train Your Dragon 3 that gets me pretty good, but no, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Ant-Man, I'm not going to spoil that.
Okay, all right.
Because I can't do that.
Don't get me wrong. It's not like I don't want to watch it. I do want to watch it. Just haven't had time.
You just have to experience that yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, you really do though. You
really do. It's way better than the first one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think 2 is the best in the whole series.
Okay. 2 is the best in the whole series. Speaking of a second, Poe, when he finds inner peace in 2 and he starts chucking fucking cannonballs back at Lord Shang. Is by far one of those. I have found my inner peace. I am still the fucking dragon warrior. Go fucketh yourself. Skadoosh.
Before we leave animated, because I know Sean had one more. Because I was actually rewatching it. The ending of Coco. I'm sorry.
Just put the entirety of Coco there.
Yeah, pretty good.
Let's be
that
real
ending.
here.
I was like,
my Coco. Fuck.
Dude. I went to the movie with like low expectations because I was like, I thought maybe it's just like overhyped, and then I was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
You're the love of my afterlife.
Yeah.
Oh man. See, now I'm forgetting even what the other one even was.
Sorry, I know. It was live action. It was live action. I know.
Under Pressure. The entire song Under Pressure from Encanto. Fucking gets me, dude. Because being an older sibling and having all of that fucking pressure on your shoulders really fucking weighs you down. It really fucking weighs you down.
All right, so I'm gonna need a second to remember what the fuck this next one was.
You're good.
So please just bounce off.
I can't forget this one. We're going back to live action. Maybe that will help. I think I missed a chance to see it in IMAX again, but the ending of ET, just freaking saying, here. Because listen, I know John Williams obviously gets so much love, but that man just knows how to craft a score around the most best moments. Just like there when he says goodbye, just ending everything. This man just knows how to tug at the heartstrings with every fucking score he uses.
Well, I'm gonna take a second to kind of like actually talk about this real quick. That man is the Mozart of our generation.
Yes.
Or of the past. Like, he is arguably the greatest composer of the past 100 years.
Oh, easily. easily has some of the best scores of all time. The only person that I would even compare, like, and he still falls very well short, is Howard Shore.
Oh, the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Jerry Goldsmith's pretty fucking good.
That's another one. That is another one.
I was gonna say Zimmer, but nah, Zimmer not really.
No, hold up with Zimmer, because Zimmer's ability to change as the decades have gone on, is remarkable. His adaptability. When he is gone, he will truly be appreciated, I think.
Yes, because he's done movies I didn't know that he did. Like, I didn't know he did Lion King, like,
or Driving Miss Daisy.
Right. I'm just like, what the hell?
Would you ever say that the guy that did the score for Driving Miss Daisy did the score for Inception?
No, exactly.
Like, they're so diametrically opposed.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. I don't remember what the because now we're getting into so many other things. I don't remember what the line movie that I was going to mention was. It'll come to me later.
Was that the one that you said we would call you a loser for?
Or yeah, it is. Okay, thank you for reminding me about that.
Right. Yeah, you loser.
It's the Matrix.
I'm trying to think.
Oh yeah, no, you're definitely a loser for that one.
Yeah.
Wait,
you're definitely a loser for that one.
Wait, when she brings them back to life?
No.
Said not that. That's way too predictable.
No, that's way too lame. No, it's when Neo stops in the subway station, and Trinity goes, "What is he doing?" And Morpheus just goes, "He's beginning to believe." And Neo turns around and he gets into that fucking fight with Agent Smith. I don't know what it is about. Like, here's the thing. I was obsessed with The Matrix when I was a little kid. I saw it when I was 7 years old. Like, I saw it a year after it came out, and I was 7, and I loved it, and I was obsessed with The Matrix. So now when I watch it when I'm older, it's just like, it kind of just hits me from this nostalgia place.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't know if other people necessarily get, but like that moment where Morpheus just goes, he's beginning to believe.
That's why I don't consider it a loser moment. That's what I'm saying. It hits you like the reasons you said, man. You grew up with that, so, and it's almost like Neo's turning point too. So that's why I'm like,
it really is.
Respect that,
respect that. The moment where he smashes Smith's back into the fucking top of the subway tunnel as well. This is the sound of your death, Mr. Anderson.
That is the sound of inevitability.
My name is Neo. Boom. Fucking love that shit. God.
Entirety of Onward.
Oh yeah. Oh, right.
The entirety of Onward fucks me up.
I keep forgetting how much you love that movie, and I respect it so much, especially because it's a brother thing, and I have like 4 brothers, so like, yeah, man, I definitely.
It's more of a dead dad thing for me, but like, I get where you're coming from.
Right.
Yeah. We have talked, and I've cried for like the last 45 minutes. I want to start. I want us to switch to something the fuck else so I can stop.
Let's go back to comedians.
Bitch. But hold on, because the most genuine interaction I've seen between Kevin Smith and Stan Lee happens at the end of Reboot, and it's when they're on the IMD boat. And it's just it's the fucking funniest thing. He's like, it's almost as bad as Yoga Hosers, but he's like, I want more lines. But that fucking genuine interaction, you can see that those two loved each other. And that shit breaks my heart, dude. Funniest scenes in a not funny movie.
Ooh. That's a good question. This is a not funny movie.
I gotta look at my library, look at my dramas.
I got it.
Son of a bitch stole my line.
Well, technically, it is kind of a funny movie. The subject matter is super not funny.
Okay.
Does anyone have another bag? No, we don't have another bag.
It's my favorite Tarantino movie, so yeah, I respect that.
It's got to be Django. I think we can all agree the bags was a nice idea.
I can't see shit out of this.
If I can't see shit, you can't see shit. The goddamn right.
My wife spent 2 hours
making these things for y'all, and all I hear is criticize. From now on, don't ask me or mine for nothing. that right there.
The ineptitude of the clan.
Like, don't get me wrong, there are funny scenes in Django Unchained, which I think maybe that's why the film works so well in a lot of different ways, is because it's like, how do you make a drama about slavery and a revenge film funny?
I know, right? Well, that's why Tarantino's the shit, man.
Tarantino's I'm gonna say it.
I know. Jay doesn't really like it.
Jay doesn't like him. I don't really give a fuck though. This is part of the reason why we're co-hosts, is because we have differing opinions.
Right. That
dude is like one of the goats. Like, who has? And by the way, it's bullshit when he says, "Oh, after my 10th film, I'm gonna fucking retire." It's like, no, you have more than 10 films,
or you don't, and I don't care because I lost interest in I like 3 of your movies.
You have more than 10 films, but at the exact same time, like, dude, that guy has
10th film be a Star Trek film. Let's kill Star Trek and Tarantino's career at the same time.
I love the fact that guy is able to do so many different things within a wheelhouse, within 10 films. Like, it's really remarkable. It really is.
I like Django. I like Inglourious Bastards. And Pulp Fiction was on my... and I think it's just like oversaturation of myself with his content because there's so little of it to consume. The more and more and more and more and more and more and more I watch it, the less interested I am in it. Which is weird because it's one of the only director's works that happens in. For me personally.
It's the complete opposite for me.
Which is weird because it's the complete opposite for me for most other directors' fucking like entire fucking oeuvre. Like it's a lot of... I can go back and I can watch movies over and over again, but it gets to a point with Tarantino where I just can't. And I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this again. Like, I can watch.
Is it too samey for you? Actually, let me ask you this: is it sort of like watching Aaron Sorkin for you?
Kind of, but like the thing about it is I don't have a problem with a lot of people's dialogue because I like dialogue heavy movies because I can watch a fucking Kevin Smith movie and I know that most of them are, a majority of 90% of them are fucking comedies. Yeah, but like,
I mean, you also identify with Kevin Smith to such a degree where,
but I thoroughly like the Tarantino movies that I like, I love. With the exception of Pulp Fiction, but that's because I think like Pulp Fiction has also been overhyped by the community in general.
I definitely don't agree with that.
Yeah,
I definitely don't agree.
I mean, okay, it's fine. You guys are gonna be wrong.
Well, I mean, you can be wrong.
We can be wrong.
That's the thing. I mean, but
it's like your opinion, man.
Yeah, all right, cool. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the Coen brothers are definitely ones like they're tough.
Oh, definitely.
They're tough watches for me on rewatch.
Oh yeah.
They're ones I've been nervous to watch. Like I'm only seeing like their hits, and I haven't seen the obscure ones that are like supposedly more loved, like Inside Llewellyn Davis and
Blood Simple and stuff like that.
I've never seen Blood Simple. I've never seen Hail Caesar.
Yeah, Blood Simple's really good, actually.
I didn't hate Hail Caesar. I didn't
hate it either, but
I hate it because it led to a guy being discovered who ruined my favorite character in Star Wars, in my opinion. So, Jay, a place where we have not gone to yet.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm actually phenomenally surprised. Like in a lot of different ways because I'm just like, oh, dude, you and I shoot the shit for like 2-3 hours, but the red light's not on, and now the red light is, and very seldomly do I feel comfortable enough to somebody to actually keep going this long. But DC is a place where you and I were going to talk about this, and you brought
2
it up
hours ago,
3 hours ago almost. So, yeah, let's get into that.
Let's get into DC, because I'm gonna roast them like I roast Andrew Tate, like I roasted Diablo Immortal, and like I roasted Raid Shadow Legends. Fuck all three of them and DC and their 10-year fucking policy coming up.
God, you would sound good saying Raid Shadow Legends though.
So DC recently released their whole little we're coming up with a 10-year plan fucking shtick, right?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
you heard about it. I had to fucking live through it. This is bullshit, by the way. Like, who fucking cares? You're fucking 13 years too late on your 10-year plan. Like, you should have started this before you started making any idea for Man of Steel.
Yes.
Like, I get it. Nobody knows any of your fucking B-list celebrities. You're not going to make a fucking Zatanna. You're not going to make a Zatanna Zatara movie. But you know what you could have done? You could have made a fucking John Constantine movie. You could have.
I wanted to come back for it.
Bring him back now. Scrap everything that you fucking done so far. Kick Ezra Miller out of fucking Flash's spot, because I don't know what the fuck's going on with them, but holy shit, they need some fucking professional help.
I hesitate with that because I'm like, I don't want to throw away Michael Keaton's hard work. I feel bad. Like, I would like, I'm sure he was so happy to be back.
All the money in the world does. We can literally replace Ezra Miller with anybody else.
Oh, okay, fine. They can do that, yeah, but just don't throw away his work. Like, whatever he shot, like, just
give me 6 months. I'll fucking lose some weight and I'll just fucking do that shit. And Michael Keaton won't have to worry about shit.
I don't like the fact, like, I get exactly what's going on here. Like, they're trying their damnedest to copy Disney and Marvel right now.
Too late.
It's too little and it's too late. Because if you think that phases like 6 through 7 aren't already done, or they don't have a rough draft for them, even though they're not coming out for another fucking decade, you're tripping. You're absolutely out of your fucking mind. They know exactly what they want to do with the MCU for like the next 40 fucking years. The worst part about it is DC could have done this. You could have given us 8 fucking Batman movies, 3 Wonder Woman movies, and 4 Superman movies, and people would have been fine with it. People would have been fine with it. Culminating in each one of these movies linking to or having a portion of another Justice League character being a part of every single movie. Culminating in the big 3 coming together, calling in all of their fucking favors, them creating the watch, Bruce Wayne putting out the trillions of dollars to make the fucking Watchtower, and them actually having a fucking Justice League movie that's worth it. But what did we get? Amber Heard as Mira,
shitting up the sea.
What else did we get? Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah.
God damn, that movie is like, I love the first Wonder Woman. Like, I have problems with the third act of that movie, but I love the first Wonder Woman movie.
I think everyone does.
Yeah. I will say though, with the DC cinematic universe and stuff like that, they are starting to find their sort of niche, which is hear me out.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't say it. I just made a sound. It's
okay. Just let me sit on this one and sip some fucking tea. Like that's basically what you did. You were Jordan Peterson / Kermit the Frog on that one. But no, listen, where DC actually has to do something different to Marvel, because Marvel has the cinematic universe fucking like cornered, basically.
Unlock.
Like it's done. They do TV, they do movies, they do fucking everything. And people watch the interacting things between them. What DC has to do is avoid doing that thing. And that's where they realize that they made a fatal fucking flaw outside of them just trying to rush the entire situation to begin with. Okay? They need to do more things like Joker and the Batman. Whether you like Joker or the Batman, it doesn't really matter. They have to separate themselves from their competition.
Still not been able to finish the Batman.
Really?
No, and I was hyped for that movie too. That's
because it's too long, or because you just don't like it.
A little column A, little column B. Like he gets to the 22 below club, and I'm like, oh cool. I'm like an hour and a half into this 2.5 hour movie. I'm fucking like 37 minutes in. And I'm like, oh my god, this movie just fucking drags, dude.
Dude, I never found that to be the case personally.
That movie has a pacing issue to me.
It's a slow burn detective story, so yeah, I can understand one.
Like, don't get me wrong, I get it.
I never found Burn to be so slow though. That's the thing for me. For me at least, and it's I guess it's just three different perspectives on one film. Jay, you find it to be super slow. You find it to be a slow burn. For me, I felt like the pace never really dropped because I was always invested in what was going on.
I felt it was up and down. So
Batman is my favorite fucking comic book character. To the point, I have it tattooed on me. Batman is my favorite fucking comic book character, and this is the only Batman movie I've never been able to fucking sit through.
Jay, my lucky hat for when I wore for almost every trivia match was my Batman the Animated Series hat that I got from 1993's fucking Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, we've had that conversation.
Like outside of this hat right now, which I have backwards, or which is my Rage Against the Machine hat, which I got at the show in Toronto where Tom Morello got fucking tackled, which was fucking awesome. But outside of that, or this other Batman hat that I wore, like my lucky moments in trivia, or like the things that really, which by the way, we have waited nearly 3 hours actually to talk about some real shit, which I think we're going to get into some real fucking shit after this.
We are.
Oh, no drama.
Did you not hear about that drama, Ant-Man?
No, but I'm always open to hearing stuff.
I'm only slightly privy to it just because it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
but Batman has been my good luck charm for anything that I've done trivia related. Right. So it's like not only is he my childhood hero, but it's like it's the emblem I wear into every single thing that I wind up doing. Now, so
the symbol means hope. Why'd you say that?
But anyway, it's one of those things where like I fucking love it, and it with the Pattinson situation, I'm not gonna lie, it got me within the first like 20 minutes. That moment where he looks at that kid, and there's that connection where it's like, I know what you're going through right now. I sat down in my seat and I was just like, oh, it's like, oh, that's
they're going this direction.
No, it was more than that. I went, oh, that's him. Like that's him right there. Okay, I'm cool with that. And it from that point onwards, I was in love with that film.
You were hooked.
I was completely hooked because it was the first time I actually got to see Batman in live action, where I didn't have an asterisk next to it. But I'm gonna need a beer for this one. Jay, why don't you kick us off for this?
Oh god.
So I'm gonna do my best here. Oh no, that's full screen. I don't need full screen.
Okay.
Keep talking. I am doing my best. Jamie, pull that up. Don't worry about any of the porn you see on my Reddit. It's none of your goddamn business.
No, it's not. Jay, do you think?
Oh shit.
It's like playing in the Schmodown when the judges when the people calling the match get to decide if you got the question right or wrong, which is bullshit. So I feel the pain. I understand. I would agree.
Don't you think it's more so a certain individual looking at a list of questions and then choosing the degree of difficulty of the question depending on the outcome that they would like to see happen?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I definitely know that happened. I definitely know that happened. I was
I'm not
unintentionally told by the individual. Oh yeah, there was another one. I was like, "What do you mean there's another one?"
There's another one.
Oh, yeah, I've got multiple in front of me. What? So you're picking and choosing the questions that you ask? Yeah, sometimes. Okay.
Well, those are the old days now. It's over.
Yeah, exactly. I walked away. That was one of the final straws. I was like, I'm good.
Good lead-in.
So for those of you who are listening at home or are first-time followers, we all play movie trivia. We have mentioned it several times. We've talked about it a little bit. Most of us got into it because of this online YouTube thing called the Movie Trivia Schmodown, which is just a group of people getting together and answering fucking movie trivia questions, and they added a little bit of a fucking WWE wrestling promo element to it. And it's ever since they started getting sponsors, it's kind of started going downhill. And I think it went downhill enough that like people are starting to finally talk about it. And I think more people are more willing to talk about it now because this is their final season after what, 9 seasons?
Eight or nine, yeah.
8 or 9 seasons. But like an entire community was built around this concept. But the quote-unquote fan leagues have created better content than the Schmodown has created in the last fucking 5 years. But most of the fan leagues also don't fucking rig their matches the way that it was essentially not even alluded to, but like flat out said by former player Matt Nost, with John Roca being like, I'm still kind of friends with Christian Harloff. I can't say this, but I'm going to kind of say this. So fellas, thoughts, feelings, words on the subject.
I think we should probably start with Ant-Man because he's a currently active player. Like I've been
away for a little bit,
basically retired for 2 years.
Me and Ant-Man still actively participate. Sean is there for after dark shit. Sean's there to shoot the shit and hang out. Yeah. Ant-Man, what are your thoughts on this?
Is there, I don't know whether there's a word to describe, like shocked, but not really shocked. It's like almost like being told
Jack's complete lack of surprise.
Yeah, there you go. Right. It's like, I kind of, after hearing it now, I'm just like, okay, I can see that. Yeah, exactly. But now I'm like, wow, really? You guys went that way sometimes. And I'm like, then what was the point of everything? I don't know. And the fact that like inadvertently they inspired guys like us to like be able to provide better content and just better, I don't know, a better environment, camaraderie, and just being able to like just be real. It's just freaking, it's just kind of sad. And it's like, I stopped like really watching the Schmodown after a while. I only watched it recently because sometimes we just also enjoy, which is kind of sad also, we enjoy kind of making fun of it. That's how bad it's gotten.
It's been a hot minute. Like I haven't watched like Rue's last match. I haven't watched anything with Jacoby in it. Like we know people personally.
Yeah,
like, I've hung out with like several of the competitors, like not only in a virtual space, but in like reality. I'm friends with these people. I had a show with Janine there for like 6 months, where we would just sit and watch movies and then go live and talk about them because we watched the movie together and talked shit during it and then just summed up our thoughts afterwards. It doesn't surprise me, especially seeing as like Christian Harloff always kind of assumed himself to be that like Vince McMahon-esque type personality. Yeah. And we all know as much physicality that goes into wrestling, it's fake. Like who wins is already determined. So you go into a match with a document that only the people on the desk can see, and then they have content. I'm assuming at this point, I'm not saying that this is what's happened because we don't have enough of it, but with documents for a contingency of, oh, you're almost getting knocked out, but we kind of want you to win. We're going to give you easier questions. We're going to switch over to this one, which sucks. But like, if you claim that you're the best trivia show in the world, don't you think that you would want the best trivia players in the world? Not just like, oh, hey, these are my friends and they helped. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure that I could beat John Roca in a match. I'm 100% sure that I could take on fucking Elliot Dewberry in a match. Like,
no, you'd beat Dewberry for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I the only fucking match that I've ever really wanted to play in the Schmodown, other than playing Rue, is playing Josh McCouga and Elliot Dewberry with Rue as my partner. Rue would fucking demolish them as Old Dirty's Chinese food restaurant, which was our team name when Rue was still playing in the fan leagues. But like, it sucks. But part of me has always felt like this has been a thing. And it's mainly coming down to favoritism more than it was anything else. But to kind of have it confirmed by an ex-player is the thing that kind of, like, it's the last nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah, like, it stings, but
well, it's the last nail in the coffin for any trivia league. As someone who has had the deck stacked against them in certain places that I've played, and I know about it, and I've found out that I'm gonna get really real here. Shit.
I'll be right back.
Keep
going, guys. I'll be right back.
It's like I've been in for all of it, but this is the one moment. Okay.
I gotta go check on my grandma real fast. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, do you think, man?
Yeah.
I was just messing around, but as someone that has had a trivia group try to rig a match against him and had it backfire on them, as a trivia player, keep your cards close to your chest. Don't have a letterbox.
Oh, okay.
Don't have a letterbox. Because then guys are just like, how do we plan for him? We can't see what he's seen. We don't know what he has seen. We don't know what he hasn't seen. And you can fuck with them as a byproduct of that. But with the Schmodown doing this sort of shit, it makes me really sad on a number of different levels. Just because, one, part of the reason I got into this scene was so I could eventually make it to the Schmodown.
Me too.
I mean, dude, Antonio, at the end of the day, dude, you have one of the most iconic moments fan league wise.
Oh, right. Even though it's
at any Schmodown event.
I know, but I kind of don't want that what do you call it, consideration anymore. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it's still part of it.
It's part of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
We all loved this stuff so much, like to the point where I was thinking about going to Chicago and meeting up with those guys and stuff like that. And it makes it really sad when you see a situation play out like this. You know, you just don't want it to be. You don't want it to be anything you feared that it possibly could be.
Yeah. And if I can come up with like a shitty analogy, it's almost like really finding out like there's no Santa Claus, stuff like that. You know, it's like,
yeah, pretty much. You
had like this Everest in your mind, and it's just like tumbling down.
Yeah, and on top of that, that whole thing, one thing that really makes me sad is Harloff's whole thing. It's like there's always two outcomes. Like when you talk about that, he goes, "There's always two outcomes." Were there two outcomes?
No, I always felt like it was meant to go a certain way.
Were there two outcomes, or did you just actively try to screw over your competitors? And if that is the case, why did someone like Dan Murrell stick around for so fucking long? Because I think if we can say anything, Dan Murrell is the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Even with any of those asterisks, he's still the GOAT. He's still that guy where it's like, oh yeah, if you got to play anybody to show how good you are at trivia, that's the guy that you got to play. So like, how are any of us supposed to fucking react to that? No, like, how are any of us supposed to be like, oh yeah, no, we still all just, we'd feel totally comfortable going against somebody knowing that they're just better than us. It's hard, man. And on top of that, like, just I've hated the fact that I've had that carrot dangled in front of me so many fucking times. Whether I'm paying to play, like that fucking Schmodown Patreon league.
Oh, yeah. I almost caved into that.
Or the app, where it's like you win on the app, you're gonna fucking potentially come onto the Schmodown. Or it's like, you play in the fan leagues, we're gonna pick you up, and it's like you become a champion there. It's like, dude, I was the champion on the fucking app. Like, literally, Sicario is now number 2 just because I stopped playing on the app. But Sicario is number 2, and that's me. Fucking, I wound up becoming a champion in the fan leagues. And then on top of that, like, I wound up doing stupidly well in the fucking, like, Patreon league. I didn't hear fucking dick all from fucking Christian.
Nope. I've had one conversation personally with him. I'm
gonna be honest with you, I don't have any desire to now.
No, I was supposed to play Parker in a match in the Schmodown. Like that was supposed to be Parker's first match. Parker's first match in the Schmodown. And I've heard this from both Christian, I've heard this from Janine, and I've heard this from Parker himself. Parker's first match in the Schmodown was supposed to be against me. He couldn't make it from where was he staying at the time? Minnesota or whatever. Somewhere in the Minnesota, some shit like that. Yeah, somewhere in the Midwest. Somewhere in the fucking Midwest. But they were able to get him, and I wasn't able to come out again for a while, which sucks. I'm happy that Robert got there. Robert's a really good player. Mm-hmm. And at that point in time, I was championship caliber. I had played against Robert. I had been in 4 fucking title matches in fucking multiple leagues. I challenged fucking Grant twice.
When Grant was Grant.
When Grant was at the top of his game.
He was at his peak, yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think that's still one of my favorite matches, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. One of my favorite matches is just that Iron Man match for the fucking championship belt. Because after time ran out, we ran through the last 2 questions. Grant missed them both, and I hit them both, which would have swung the fucking score, and I would have won by 1.
Yeah.
Like that's just some of my favorite shit. And I will always have that. That will always be a memory for me. And people might say that's a weird thing to fucking cherish. And I'm like, why? It means that, like, I was competitive enough to come to this point in my life where I was so good at this, I could beat somebody that, like, I look up to in a certain way for fucking prowess and knowledge in fucking trivia.
Jay, you're talking to me about that when, like, dude, I came within 1 point of handing Paul Oyama his first loss.
Oh man,
my very first match in any fan league was against Paul Oyama in Jack of All Trivia. And I was not ready for it, bro. I was not there for it.
His first match was against me. That's why. His first match was against me and John Salvi. John Salvi scored 3 points in the first round.
Hey, I'm pretty sure that's what I scored against him in my first match.
Yeah, he scored 3 points in the first round. I scored 7 out of 8. And I almost went perfect. I missed on one question. It was, what was the fictional name of the film starring Terrence and Phillip?
Asses of Fire.
Yeah, see, I went with Flaming Asses.
Oh no!
Yeah, I went with Flaming Asses because I just couldn't remember just by that little bit. And
I think that's a good question.
By the way, if you go back and check out that match, Paul, when I missed for the first time, and it's the last question, Paul goes, "Oh, thank God he didn't go perfect." like literally
reactions.
Actually does like this, and he goes, "Oh God, he didn't go perfect." And then,
what is your most embarrassing answer that you have gotten wrong in a trivia match? Just the one that sticks out to you. It could be recent. It could be old as shit.
I'm sure I have some. It's just that I probably
can I go with one where can I go with one where I didn't have an answer, or like I knew the answer but I couldn't
couldn't pull it. It just couldn't pop from your fucking head. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Those are embarrassing to people as well, bro. Like,
okay, so there's a little tiny bit of backstory to this. It was me in the triple threat match versus Jeremy and Grant for the number one contender spot in multiplex.
Okay.
I drank half a fifth of vodka before I fucking went into that match.
Dare me to drive.
Like I drank half a fifth of vodka before I went into that match because I just assumed, because Grant had beaten me and I was like, this is a waste of my time. So, I'm just going to go in and just have a little drink, have like a fucking bunch of drinks, and then that's it. So I go into that match. I come out 7 points out of 8 points in the first round.
Nice.
I'm in the lead on Jeremy and Grant. I go out of the second round. I'm in the lead on Jeremy and Grant.
Nice.
I whiffed on all 3 third round questions.
No, I've had that happen. I know that pain. I know that pain.
But it was because I was drunk. Because and by the way, and it gets so much worse from this point, because my first round question was just like, oh, Liam Neeson starred in what superhero film in 1990, whatever it was.
1990?
It was Darkman.
Yeah.
It was Darkman.
Wait, no, is that Dark City? Am I confusing Darkman?
No, it's Darkman. It's Darkman.
No. The year, the release date.
Yeah. So
because I think it's 1990, right?
It's Darkman, and I'm sitting there and I go, give me the purple elephant, give me the purple elephant, the pink elephant. Fucking, what's the fucking name of that fucking movie? And I'm like driving myself nuts, and I'm like, I can't remember.
Oh no!
And I missed that one. I missed the next 2. And as it turned out, I would have won the whole match if I had just remembered Darkman.
Oh, and it's one of those things that you'll never fucking forget now, though.
Yep. And I would have gone on to play Jake Marangoni in the title match. And playing against him with those questions that he had, I was like, I would have won the first movie Warzone title. That's the one for me. I was if I had not gotten drunk that night, I would have been the first movie Warzone title holder, and that fucking crazy.
I always have a little bit, and like I find like 2 or 3 tall boys in, I've hit my stride. I am like 100% perfect. That's when I start going hard and I can pull shit out of my fucking ass. Like 2 or 3 fucking tall boys in, and I'm that's my golden ratio right there. It's like It's like Ethan Suplee in My Name Is Earl.
Oh yeah.
Where like 6 beers is like his perfect limit where he can lie, and if he has any more, he just falls to shit. So it's just like finding that level. I have a couple. One one is I will never forget this match. Okay, I will never forget this match. It's my first match in multiplex ever. It's my first match in fucking fandom fights ever, and I'm playing against Sandy the Sandman Robinson.
Okay.
I score 0 points in the first round in fandom fights. In fandom fights, I fucking score 0 points. I come back to tie the game 17-17. I hit everything in my round 2 perfectly. I hit most of Sandy's, and then I hit my 2 and my 3. I missed my 5-point question, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it, and it's I'll say I'll never forget it, and I've already fucking forgotten it. It was what is the name of the song that Genie sings once he's been released from the lamp in the first Aladdin movie? It's you ain't never had a friend like me.
No. Oh,
I said ain't had a friend like me.
Oh, so it's fucking verbiage, man, or whatever.
It's a title. It's a title though, and I'm like,
no.
Oh, Ant-Man, dude. That's like that Tarantino match that you and I did. It was like the autobiography of Walt Disney.
All right.
Oh, no, it's the biography of Walt Disney. It's like I hate to do, and you even said it though. You were cool about it. Kastner was a fucking dick about it.
Yeah, fuck you, Kastner. I love you, buddy.
I never like, whenever there's any sort of little bit of controversy.
You heard it. Ant-Man said he never liked you.
No, I never like to like cause drama and just be like, you know what? Right. No, I love Robert. I just never like to cause any like sort of like controversy. Just like, all right, if I'm even close to getting it somewhat wrong, I'm just like, fuck it, I'll take it. I never want to win on that kind of like technicality. So
I had such an issue though with that 3-pointer where it was like, what was the name of Lucy Liu's character in Volume 1?
Like, that's a 3-pointer?
Ren Ishii.
Ren Ishii, and that's when I threw my hands up and I walked away. I was like, oh, this game's been fucking like I got, especially because we were playing in Jack of All Trivia.
Oh yeah,
like, okay. I was really fucking mad about that because
who was the host? I forgot.
Dave Least.
The dragon, Dave Lees. Okay,
yeah, Lees. Yeah.
Does he still do anything anymore? Is he still doing like Schmoes of the North? I mean, not after October, but obviously, like
I know, right?
I was really fucking mad about that because I was just like, oh, so you didn't get me the first time, so you tried to get me the second time. Okay, cool. Like,
I will say,
I was really fucking mad about that.
2 of my favorite moments.
And by the way, that's why Tato says that it's like, oh, I saw that, and I was like, this guy Sean's a fucking dick. Yeah, straight up. Yeah, no, that's why Tato thought I was a fucking dick. Not thinks, but thought I was a fucking dick for the longest time.
Yeah, but if you've heard any of the shit that Tato's ever said ever, like, I take that with a giant fucking planet full of salt. Like, Jesus Christ
on fucking Star Wars.
Yeah. I think 2 of my favorite moments ever, though, in like a trivia capacity. One is in trivia, one is in debate. And they're both against the same person, as a matter of fact. Fucking Dominic Rizzi. Me and Dom had a number 1 contenders match so I could play against Robert before he went to the Schmoedown. And like me and Dom are boys. We're still boys. We don't talk a whole lot, but like we're still boys. I still consider him my homie. He's just been busy with school and shit. Shout out to Suni. Shout out to the Riz man. We had a number one contenders match, and we got together like 4 hours before the match and asked each other questions for like 2 hours back and forth. And I remember plain as day, 90 minutes before our match, I asked Rizzy a fucking question, and it's who directed Howard the Duck?
Oh no.
And he's like, I do not know. And I was like, Willard Huke directed Howard the Duck. Who directed Howard the Duck? Willard Huke. Willard Huke directed Howard the Duck. Trying to just get that little fucking worm in his head.
Right.
Who directed Howard the Duck? Willard Huke directed Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck was directed by Willard Huke. Just the repetition of, oh, I've heard this. I know this.
Yeah.
His 5-point question comes in directors to beat me in this match. And it's who directed Howard the Duck?
Jeez.
And he can't pull it.
Wow. Really?
I spent a good like 10 minutes putting into his head that Willard Huke directed Howard the Duck.
I mean, it's a fucking weird name, but still.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't forget that shit. Once you hear it, you'll never forget it. But I told him this, and he couldn't pull it. Although I will say my fucking 5-point question was way easier. Like, I will 100% hands down say mine was way easier. But it also came in fucking Wizarding World.
Yeah, okay.
And I know.
So for you, that's gonna be easy as fuck.
I know. But I mean, it's an easy as fuck question for anybody, because the question was, name 2 of the 3 schools involved in the Tri-Wizard tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's a little disrespectful. Like,
Yeah, you have to admit that, right?
I did, and I was like, okay, so I was like, how do you want me to pronounce one of these? I was like, are you gonna fucking penalize me if I say Beauxbatons? Are you gonna penalize me if I say Beauxbatons? Like, how do I need to pronounce the French school? So I just went Hogwarts and Durmstrang.
Yeah.
And they were like, we would have penalized you if you had mispronounced Beauxbatons. And
What?
Like,
Get the
yeah, bro. No, it's in the match. It's in the match, bro.
Oh,
and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was flabbergasted. And then I was in a fucking debate against him for our version of movie fights. Also, fuck you, Andy Signor. But I was arguing against Rizzy, and our question was in the MCU, and it was pitch Avengers 4.
You mean Endgame? I know before Endgame came out.
Rizzy pitched everything that was going to happen in Endgame.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Down to them using the fucking quantum realm to time travel. Rizzy pitched everything that was going to happen in Endgame.
And Jay still beat him.
My fucking title for this movie was Snap Back to Reality.
Yep.
I don't hate it, honestly.
It was an 8 Mile ripoff.
I know.
But I pitched it, and I think that's the only time I've ever seen fucking Newberry lose his shit. It's the only time I think I've ever seen Cody Newberry legitimately throw his board in frustration, because I countered everything it was that Rizzy said, and Rizzy was like, oh, okay, logic. And I was like, they're never going to use the fucking quantum realm to time travel. That's not how the quantum realm works, dick. Read a comic. Knowing that's exactly how the fucking quantum realm works, but he's never read a comic a day in his life. Oh, it was the fucking funniest shit on the face of the planet.
So you had him doubting himself, and that was enough.
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
100%. We were also asked what was the best fantasy adventure film of the 2000s.
I already know what you went with.
I went with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay. I thought it would have been Lord of the Rings movie.
No, I went with Pirates of the Caribbean. I was like, it was a great fucking movie.
Jay wants to challenge himself on occasion.
Right.
Why do you think I didn't watch? Why do you think I didn't watch The Foreigner when I fucking argued against Jeremy like 4 months ago?
Which, by the way, you still won that one. Which, by the way, I do still have an argument against you as to why you're. We'll talk about it later. I want to get on to Antonio. Your proudest moments.
Yeah, proud. Yeah, give us like your top
as a trivia competitor. What are your moments where you're just like, that one made me feel really fucking good?
It's that's the thing. My freaking memory is so shitty, which is ironic considering I have to memorize a lot of shit. But like, I think there was a moment. I think, it was me. I was with Marangoni as a team. We're Bounty Hunters Anonymous. This was in fandom, and it was a moment where, like, I think the whole game we were down, and like and you know how like the last round of fandom fights goes, where like you just keep betting. So we just kept going for it, and we back and forth. And then also I got categories I had no confidence in whatsoever, and somewhere like one or except for like maybe just one, and the fact that we came back from like that much of a deficit to win, especially like on the last question. That's the best I've ever felt, even if it was a teams thing, but it still felt good to be able to like just go back and forth with that.
Well, for starters, a teams thing is not something to be like, oh, it was a teams thing. It's like, no, dude, you played a part in that.
Yeah. And then the funny thing is the opposite of that, as far as like shitty is, was when I actually did win a championship, but it was just in a league that I think is possibly not even, I don't think it's around anymore. And it was a Chris Day's league.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, and there was already like some sort of like,
if we weren't canceled 3.5 hours ago, we are canceled now.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Jay, we're going back to the start.
So
time is cyclical, my friend.
Oh no, I was just dropping a Chris Day reference, but
but yeah, I mean,
you mean the guy who's gonna play Batman in the movie?
Back to the start.
You mean the guy who's gonna play Logan, Wolverine, Weapon X in a movie? Chris Day.
Skywalker?
Yeah, with hold up, with butter knives. With butter knives.
It's just like I mean, I don't know if you guys ever went to yeah. When you win something that you feel like you didn't really deserve at all, especially even though it was against tough competitors, I'm just like, yeah.
It's the way on a blind kid.
Right. So it's just like, yeah, that's probably like my lowest moment where like it's weird. I'm like, I should feel good, but I really don't.
I really just want to know about your highest moments, but okay.
It's the thing, it's like that's pretty much it. Everyone's like,
by the way, thanks for not saying you beating me in a Tarantino trivia match. Like that's that's not amongst the best. Good to know. Good to know. For me, I'm gonna go with obviously beating Brian.
The MacGuffin Michaels.
Yeah, me beating Michaels, because I still feel like that's the greatest multiplex match ever. Even if it's not even on their, like, I don't know what happened. Maybe it got like pulled because of our intro songs or anything like that. No. Like, because I wound up using Extreme's Rest in Peace. And I know that they're a little bit stingy with that. So that's probably my fault. But that one was so fucking awesome because I wound up breaking the record for most points scored in a match. And I thought that was so fucking cool. And I got to beat Brian in the exact same situation. And I know how fucking good Brian is.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Brian just got better from that point onwards.
Yeah.
But the second one is, and this one is kind of the crowning jewel for me, is me and Boatman beating Jeremy and Sandy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see that.
That was the best feeling in terms of a trivia competition that I ever experienced, because like I was mad because the last time I had faced Jeremy was when I had gotten like stupid drunk and I just expected him and Grant to beat me, and then it just didn't fucking go well for me. And from that point onwards, I just realized I was like, oh no, I can beat Jeremy Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's watching those competitors that you think are just fucking unbeatable, impossible, fucking stumble, and realizing, oh, any given fucking day, I can beat you.
Well, and that's the thing. It wasn't just like a moment where somebody else played them.
Right.
I was just
it was
like,
you.
oh, it was like, oh no, I can beat you. And that's when I realized.
I recently had one of those.
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna fuck you up next time.
Subvert your eye.
Like I'm gonna fuck you up.
Fucking say.
And I was so ready for it. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. During that trivia match with Sandy and Jeremy, I had to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Like while we were recording, and they cut this out of that because I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I didn't really need to go to the bathroom.
State secrets.
I just needed to like
TSSCI.
I just needed to give myself some time where I was like, okay,
could actually win.
I'm like, we are in the lead by a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just need to keep myself composed. And so I just tried to calm my breathing. Because there was no fucking way I was going to lose to those two. Like, and the best part about it is, right at the beginning of the match, Boatman tried to do that thing that, like, when
Boatman
we were teammates. when we were teammates, he was like, yeah, if we're gonna lose to anybody, these are the best people we can lose to. If we're gonna win, it's gonna be the best thing we can ever do. Like, what do you think, Sean? And I'm just like, I guess I agree, but we're taking those titles. And he goes, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna see you on the other side. We'll see you on the other side. And then, and that was the moment for it. We wound up doing that shit. It was fucking amazing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So those are definitely the two. It's beating Brian and winning the titles. And I put beating Brian above winning the titles, weirdly enough.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
It's like Brian is like a title. like a title, like always like a title match no matter what.
We've talked about this a little bit just behind the scenes. He's been brought up a couple of times tonight. I'm not gonna lie, it just happened a little bit ago. The match is up on YouTube now. I beat Kastner in a match. And Kastner seemed untouchable there for a minute. Like, Kastner was that fucking like wall, because when me and Mark played you guys were fucking on top of your game. You guys played a fucking incredible match, and you have every time we have ever fucking been face to face. But me beating Kastner is one of those things where it's like, oh, hey, look, I still kind of got it. Like, I can still fucking hang with the big dogs. Like, I don't think either one of us really studied all that much for that fucking match. And it shows. My stumble was more in like rounds 1 and 2, and his big fucking stumble was in round 3. And that's kind of what led me to fucking winning that match against him. But it's like, oh, hey, like, I can still put forth a good fucking effort. What I can't do, however, is play a match after a fucking 12-hour day. I can't fucking do it. Like, I am so emotionally and fucking mentally and physically drained at the end of a fucking day. It's just like, I cannot do this. I do not want to do this. I will not continue to do this. Yeah.
I feel like we're always put in that situation, though.
You want to talk about playing a match and after doing a 12-hour day?
Bro, I used to play matches at work.
I know.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember those days.
No, do you remember the match in Henry's League that I wound up doing where Brian Michaels was my partner? And I had done a 14-hour day of landscaping.
Oh, like
and
a while ago.
Oh, dude, I tried asking. I was just like, "Hey, look, guys," and it was Kirk and Sean, and I was like, "Hey, is it cool if we reschedule this?"
And they bitched about it,
and they were just like, and Kirk just goes, "I fucking wound up not spending time with my family because of this." And all this other stuff. And then fucking Sean's just like, Sean went off about it. And then next thing you know, I'm just like, I'm feeling like shit because I've been fucking lifting stone and shoveling dirt for fucking 14 hours.
Right.
And Brian, and I'm not going to lie, like, I'm going to say about Brian, he's just like, hey, dude, we don't got to do it. It's like, fuck it, let's do it. I don't care. Whatever. And then it was just like, we wound up losing the match. And I'm not going to lie, that bugs the fuck out of me because, like,
your best.
Like, we did our best, and I was fucking dead.
I mean, there's a difference between doing your best at your lowest and doing your best at your peak.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think anybody should be fucking held accountable for a subpar performance after exerting themselves, because you know what sucks? Doing a cognitive test after a full day's worth of fucking physical labor. Like,
yeah, man, it's fucking dog shit. But
absolute dog water.
But the thing is, it's like these dudes still fucking go, yeah, we beat Sean.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
okay.
It's like, yeah, you beat me after a fucking day of like 14 hours with fucking physical labor. It fucking sucked.
Right.
And I tried being cool with you guys. And then, yeah, yeah, that was fucking dog shit, man.
You guys, we're going for like 3 hours and 45 minutes. I've got nothing but time on my hands. If you guys want to keep going, we can. Yeah. Or if you guys want to call it a clean cut, we can fucking talk about like one more topic and get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all because I'm more than willing to fucking go. I have nothing but time on my hands. Like I said,
I say we call it for a first episode because, I mean, for starters, you and I know that we can go for however long. But if you want to shoot the shit after this, like I'm more than willing to.
But, yeah, I don't mind shooting the shit a little bit more because I just need something to drink and it's fucking hot.
Oh, you're good. You're good. All right. We're gonna do the thing that like most normally everybody fucking does, and that's if you got any plugs, go ahead and get them in now. Sean, you doing anything? I'm not talking trivia wise, but are you doing like fucking anything? You got anything you want to tell anybody about?
If
besides this, obviously.
If anybody is in the Southern Ontario area, please come to Rust Bistro Bar. And you will be treated to some of the best food that you can possibly have. I would
go put my boy Sean's meat in your mouth.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, I got steaks for days. But if you guys are in the Southern Ontario area, please come up here. And on top of that, thank you very much, Jay Burns, for giving me a fucking awesome opportunity to just shoot the shit with you and spend some good time with you. And dude, you're the fucking man.
Oh, and man, I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you for coming on to this first show because, dude, you are more than welcome. And I'm very glad that we got ourselves a first guest.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah. Ant-Man, you got anything?
No, nothing really. Just
Nothing really, no projects in the work, none of that.
No, I mean, I think we're trying to, all three of us actually, we're all trying to like get involved into writing a little something. But we're also taking our time with that. You know, I'm in the process. I get that done. Might actually have a better setup, you know, especially for moments like these. Because I do want to say, because as much as we talked about the Schmodown, it's led to like, you know, like we said, like the fan leagues, and because of the fan leagues, I got to meet such cool guys like yourselves who have been, I consider like, you know, lifelong friends, despite the fact that we've never met, but like you guys are like brothers, and I can only imagine how it'd be if we ever should meet. And I'm honored that you guys chose me to be like, you know, part of this, and I look forward to many more, you know, gatherings in the future, man. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Dude, get up here for a steak sandwich, man.
Yeah, go put his meat in your mouth. In the immortal words of Nick Frost, all right, gay. No, I don't have a lot going on right now. It's still an Untitled Podcast. So it's going to be Untitled Podcast episode number 1. You can find it on YouTube. It's not going to be monetized, obviously.
Yeah. Working title is Burnt Offerings.
Fucking A. We're gonna try to get onto Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, everywhere that you can find them. We're gonna start a separate channel for all of that shit, so you don't have to come to either one of our channels, because you don't want to look at anything that's on my channel right now. Look for, hopefully in the next month or so, a clothing brand that I'm trying to start called Men of Culture Clothing. And there'll be a little bit more about that after the next episode, because I actually do have like an investor that I'm looking to meet with on Monday to talk about maybe actually getting this started. So yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to our next episode. It'll probably be sometime next week. We're going to try to do like one a week, not try to oversaturate the market, but, you know, give us a little bit of time to recuperate, because they're going to be long, man. This is what we do. We sit here and we talk for fucking hours. You watch me cry for fucking 45 minutes. Now I really do feel like fucking Kevin Smith, because y'all watch me cry for fucking 45 minutes. But I'm gonna get us the fuck up out of here, because I'm the one who controls our broadcast. So from Sean Sandberg, from Antonio Chavez, I have been Jay fucking Burns. Peace.
The man.
Peace.
The myth. The legend. We out. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Drive safe. Wash your dick and balls. Wash your hands. And ask for permission before sticking your fucking extremities in anybody.